Hello, 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 hello. God damn it. Ikuba. I wanted that to be on stream. We were one away. One. I'm glad it was you. I am glad it was you. But I couldn't get it on stream. God damn it. God damn it. Did it even pop up on the starting screen? Here, there it is. There we are. Now I've got to go and I've got to make a new follower goal. I've got to make a new follower goal now. Why is my webcam a bit laggy? Is my webcam a bit laggy? I feel like it is. I feel like it is ever so slightly. Not very nice. Let me see if I can just do a little switcheroo. It is laggy. I thought it was much. Typical. I was doing testing earlier. Smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. But then, of course, as soon as you actually get it onto the stream, it wouldn't be a Lazy T stream if there wasn't some issues now, would there? So let's see what we can do to fix this. Is it literally just going to be a case of the lighting is just a little bit too prominent or something like that? Or if I come along and I just get a little filter, I just say, I'm white, I'm very, very, very pale. No, we need that. I can get rid of the background. I don't know if that will speed things up a little bit or not. But I like the lack thereof. We'll have to see. I like this song though. That is a vibe. Little accordion going on. I decided to go for the Heartbound soundtrack because Pirate Software lets you use that in streams for free. So yeah, thought I'd take full advantage of that because one of my streams got copyright claimed. I'm not even monetized, but it got copyright claimed. So unfortunately, no more Lo-Fi Girl because apparently that's not copyright free. Little did I know, but it is what it is. Hello, hello, little clone. How are you? First time chatter. How are things? We're trying to... Did it get taken down? No, it didn't get taken down. Because I'm not monetized, technically, I haven't actually done anything wrong because I'm not profiting from someone else's stuff. So I basically... They said you can take it down, or you can, like, remove the clip or just leave it be. It basically just means I won't get monetized if I monetize that stream. But even if I were to get monetized and monetize that stream, they'd get all of like 2 pence if they're lucky. So it doesn't really make a difference for me. So I don't really care all too much. I'm fine. I've come from the Aya server. Well, hello and welcome. I think I don't often. I've always forgotten to post in all the different servers. I just decided today I might actually give it a go again. So it's lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you. Are you a game dev yourself? What kind of stuff do you do? Or are you just a fan of Aya? Because Aya's great. We love Aya. I need to still try and figure out what's going wrong with this webcam. Maybe it's just like dying a little bit because I was testing it all morning. Maybe is it overheating a little bit? I mean, it's not exactly what I would call hot. I don't know. I don't know. What if we get rid of some different docks? Or, quite simply, just make those unviewable. And then, because I've also set up, I don't know, what's it called? The virtual camera thing from gamedev or Senpai Gaming or something. His add-on. Oh, India GameX. Hello, hello, hello. You breaking things too? Always, always. It's not a Lazy T stream if something hasn't fundamentally broken. Today though, I did fix a bunch of lighting, so I got a new light up at here, so I could actually properly use the grey out cam with my or the green screen effect with my regular webcam. But yeah. It's a little bit laggy. I'm hoping I'm doing a few different... I'm trying a few different things at the moment to see if we can fix it, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But I have lowered the my upload speed to like 5,000 kilobits per second, down from 6,000 per stream. So 5,000 for Twitch, 5,000 for YouTube, and now I'm not dropping any frames. Of course, as I say that, I think the stream's just gone down. Of course. Because why not? Because now it's showing 0 kilobits per second. So I'm just a bit concerned. It's probably an OBS issue. OBS tends to lag a lot. Yeah. So I'm terribly sorry there if the stream just cut out for anyone. As I am talking about the fact the stream should be fine, of course it does decide to disappear. I don't know. I think it just cut out for a second. It's still showing that I'm offline. And it's just like showing us a different stream now. Mobile dashboard, manage your stream on the dashboard. Let's give this a go. What's it saying? I don't know. See what it says. I mean, on here, it's now telling me I've got like 0 people watching on Twitch. So I think that stream just died. But it's still showing it as okay on my phone. I'm very confused. I can offer advice as my streams work 100% of the time, honestly. Honestly, like, I don't even know what's going on. Let's go back, check the stream. Bloody typical. It's always the start of the streams as well. I can't just have it work out the box. It's just not allowed. Right, I'll refresh Twitch. Okay, so now it's showing okay. Now if I watch myself... It's just not allowed. Right, I'll refresh... So if I do this as well... Now if I watch myself... It's just not allowed. I don't even... I'm just confused. I don't know. We'll let it... We'll roll out. We'll let it roll out. We'll see if it improves. If it doesn't, we'll figure something else out. I don't know. But yeah, Twitch is back. Yeah, it dropped. Literally, as I was saying, like, oh yeah, I made improvements. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a good time. The internet's good now. I made some tweaks, and then it crashes. Typical, obviously. Hello, sexy. Hello, you. Hello to you as well. Mr. 50th follower. The 50th follower. Literally, I got this. I had this little thing down here, all ready and round to go. We needed one more follower. We didn't even get it on stream. We got followed just as the stream was starting. I love you. I love you. Thank you very much. Literally just as it was starting, and it was like, no, I'm not here to react. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I might just turn the camera off for a moment, see if that helps things. I don't know. If I do that, is that gonna be better? Camera is on. Where is the camera still on? Where is my camera still showing? I've turned it off. Or can I come and just like remove the tool? Tools, captions. Oh, I don't know. Twitch is back. Someone is hacking. I don't even know, man. Things just always go wrong at the beginning of the screen. At the beginning of the stream, even. It is what it is. Not the end of the world. But ain't half annoying. It isn't half annoying. I'm gonna see if there's a way for me to just like, because I don't want to close down OBS and restart everything with all the links again. It's just gonna be a faff, isn't it, really, more than anything else? But is there any way for me to just like disable certain add-ons midstream? I don't think there is. Either way, let's delete this. So remove that. I'm doing a bunch of stuff off screen. Close the unnecessary stuff. Yeah, so it's not even the stream itself. I think because I've set up the new virtual streaming thing from Senpai Studios or Senpai Gaming, their add-on. And it works great for some things, but I found out an easier way to actually make sure everything was manageable using the multi-stream. Lurk, we've got the milks lurking. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. But yeah, none of it seems to be working anyway, so I'm just gonna like delete everything, remove it, give my webcam just a little bit of a breather, and then hope everything fixes itself eventually. I don't know. Things seem to have stabled out a little bit at least now. Like, of course, we'll have to wait and see, and of course it takes like 18 minutes for that to happen, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I've deleted all those sources now, so that should be fine. Nothing should be using my thing. So every now and again, I'll just turn this back on and pray for the best. We'll see. We'll see. But for now... Oh, no. You need to go. And you need to stay. This has to make for some really interesting content, I must say. Are you all entertained by me troubleshooting Twitch? Closing necessary stuff like Unity Hub. Oh, but Unity Hub's so nice. It's nice. Why is Stream Elements now just saying I'm live? Has the stream just stopped again? No, I'm still saying I'm here. Oh, I'm just confused. Am I entertained? No. Jesus. You're almost at 3k subs on YouTube. I know. We're actually very close. Very, very close on YouTube. It's 3,000. We're on 2,953, I think it is. So we're only like 40 odd away from 3k. We're getting there. We're getting there. It could happen very, very soon. It's very, very exciting. I need to manage another goal. Can I just change the goal? Start a new goal? Let's get to 60. Sure. Follow a goal. Start new goal. There we go. Alright, so that's that updated. So now I need to move this over a little bit so we can all see that still. There we are. Alright. So now we got a new follower goal. Yes. We can reach something. We can achieve something. No, 100 followers. No. No. We're not going to jump to 100. We're going to do it incrementally. Once I've got, like, after I complete this one, I might jump it to 75. Then to 100. Let me make 10 alt accounts and follow. That would be dedication to the cause. That would be some dedication, alright. Turn this off. Is that going to make a difference? No. The light is kind of necessary. I don't know what's going on with this. It was perfect earlier. Perfect. Now, all of a sudden, it's not liking me. Configure video. Let's see if any of this stuff will work. I'll bring you over so you can all have a gander at what I'm doing. All of a sudden become as orange as the actual bar itself. Fancy pants, it's worked on my machine. Faff sums up everything. Honestly, it was all working earlier. It was literally working earlier, perfectly fine. I even did a test stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, making sure it was all private. Completely fine. No problems. And then here we are again. Got the 60 hertz, camera control. Maybe the autofocus is going to be the problem. If we turn that off, maybe. Or maybe the low light compensation. Well, that just makes me really dark. Oh, but that does speed it up. Oh, we might have found one of the problems. Low light compensation is the thing that's screwing us up. We found it. We found it. So now I can come into this and just brighten myself up. Yes. Let's sort out the contrast a little bit. Ah, we got it. We got it, lads. Kuba, what? Kuba donating.
Amber's Tale League of Legends change my mind.
Amber's Tale League of Legends. Now, is that you want Amber in League of Legends or you want Amber's Tale to become a MOBA? But either way, thank you very much for the tip. I really appreciate that. I love how it came out at 6.9, by the way. Amber's Tale better than League of Legends. I mean, is anything worse than League of Legends? That's the real question here. That's the real question we need to be asking ourselves. Just as we figure it out as well. Loved it. Perfect. I'm not lagging anymore. We can actually do the stream. How long did it take us? 23 minutes. Amazing. Amazing. But no, seriously, thank you very much, Kuba. Thank you very much. That's actually also not only this stream. Are you the 50th follower of my Twitch? You're the first donator. You're the first person to ever donate to me. Mwah, mwah. I'd give you a kiss if I could, but you know, you're not here, so it's unfortunate. For you, of course. Alright. Do we need to adjust? Does the camera look okay? Or should I like add a little bit more brightness or something to it? Let's see. It's just an early investment, you know, stonks. Looks perfect. Thanks. Appreciate that one. We'll apply that. Press OK. Press OK. And now, I don't know if I turned off one of the filters. We've got the color correction still on. Yeah, beautiful. Got to have those hashtag filters and all that, or like that. There we go. Hashtag filters. Otherwise, I look pasty as all hell. And that's just good for nobody. That's just good for no one. All right. So now we can actually stream. Imagine being able to stream on a Twitch stream. Crazy. All right. Yeah, sound. Let's make some games. So I've made a few changes since the last stream. So if you're here, you might notice a few key differences, right? So now I've changed the animation such that whenever you click on any building or this, only one thing will be open at a time, just to stop it being an absolute cluster of different UI elements. And this just makes life a little bit nicer for everyone involved. After all, this project is me trying out and testing different UI things. So looks, that's all good. And now we've also got these this little add-on on the side. Now, what does this mean? That's how much things cost. And what I do need to do, and the first thing I'm going to do on this stream, is I've set up a feedback if you don't have enough. So you see, we've only got an innkeeper at the moment, so it's not enough to buy this. And if we click on it, it gives us all no. It shakes. It does that little animation, and I'm right happy with that. I think that looks pretty solid. Really, really happy with it. I just need to apply that animation to the rest of the buttons. And hindsight being 2020, I should have made the button a prefab before continuing, because now I have to go into everything individually and sort it and fix it. But yeah, we've got a little bit of feedback if you don't have the money. And then, of course, if we go up, we get a bit more. 10. There we go. It works, and it's counting up. And that price automatically updates to show the price of the thing. So we need 20 now. 40. But now we don't have enough for 40. Yay! Just a little thing, but it makes a difference. And one thing I haven't tested is if it goes to 8, it goes into the 3 digits. Yeah, it auto sizes. Now there are a few little issues now. You can see when the button expands, it covers the 1, but that's something we can fix pretty easily, I reckon. And yeah, now we've got these little dudes walking around. And on this house, of course, if you remember from the last stream, we've got Lord Dave. Lord Dave can be spawned, and we've got just enough points for that, so we'll do exactly that. And there he is. Lord Dave, look at him. Lord Dave, with his different coloured eyes. Isn't he amazing? Who's Lord Dave? Who isn't Lord Dave? Lord Dave is the lord of this town. We got told in the last stream that we wanted cats in the game. And yeah, so I added the cat to the game. And they wanted it to be called Dave. But of course, Dave you spawned him from the manor. So, I mean, who lives in a manor but a lord? So it's Lord Dave. And Dave is going to go round. What his functionality is, he's going to collect tax from the different villagers. So, can we make Lord Dave do a cat dance? I can do one better. I have prepared for this. And how funny that you actually... I mean, the stream asked. The stream asked, and I provided. But we're going to do one better. We're going to do one better than making him dance. Because we had this animation saved. We're going to not make him dance. We are going to make him lick his bollocks. Yes. He's going to... Every now and again, he's going to stop. And he's going to be licking his bollocks. And when he does... do you know what's going to happen? The tax is going to double. It's going to happen. That's the way it's going to work. Unless you have Davette. Who's Davette, you might ask? Well, Davette is Dave's wife. We need 100 to get her, so let's get her up. Let's get an innkeeper so we can double the amount of clicks that we get. Yeah. So we're going to spawn in Davette, and there she is. She's a black cat, and she runs around the place. Lady Davette. Yeah. And when she's licking her bollocks, tax is going to half. Maybe. I don't know. We'll get some input on that. Yes. Your Twitch stream died, by the way. Did it really? Ah. Well, yeah. So it did. So it did. Well, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? I don't really know how to fix that, to be honest. Other than stopping the stream and starting it again. Which I might have to do. Might have to do that. Tell you what, I'm gonna stop the Twitch stream. The YouTube one should still keep going. The YouTube one should still keep playing. Because I'm doing it separately. So I'm gonna stop the Twitch one and restart it. Using 600 kilobits and hope that fixes all our problems. So I'll do that real quick. I'll stay live on YouTube. I'll stay live on YouTube. So if I stop streaming, hopefully the YouTube one should still be going. We should still be all right. Yeah, that's fine. As I said before, YouTube is better than Twitch. Very, very true. I don't know why it's having any problems now, though. It's kind of weird. We're gonna untick this box for ignore streaming service recommendations, and we're just gonna let it do its recommended stuff. So then we'll start streaming again. I wonder if this will count as 2 streams, because now we've got 50 followers. The only other criteria for getting affiliate on Twitch was to do 2 more streams. I wonder, because we've done like half an hour of one, and then we're doing another one now. I wonder if that's going to count it as 2 streams. So we might even get monetized like tomorrow. For tomorrow's stream. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? I had this issue when trying to stream to 3 platforms. Yeah, I'm not even going to try doing that. To be fair, I'm just about managing with the 2. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But to be fair, I really don't care about Kick whatsoever. I don't think it's ever gonna really compete with Twitch and YouTube. So I'm like, it is what it is. Plus, I don't really want to be associated with hot tub streams that aren't my own. Like, I want to rule that. I want to rule that category. I was actually thinking, instead of having like those black bars covering my nether regions, I can use my donation bar to do so. That way it's just a bit more meta, you know? I mean, it's genius marketing tactic, you know? Could work. I've got 500 megabit up and down. Oh, that I'm jealous about. I've got like 50 down and then 10 up. So, yeah. Not quite 500. But to be fair, that just means you could stream to 4K to YouTube then, couldn't you, I guess? Oh my god, an LTS hot tub stream. Exactly. It's what we all want. Why is Stream Elements? I guess that's because it's just started over again, hasn't it? With the all Stream Elements just keep sending notifications. It's a bit bonkers. All right, okay, and the bitrate is now shown as green. We can see here. Before it was red, now it's green. So obviously that means it's gonna work, right? Green is good, red is bad. So I don't know, we'll see. Let me know if it drops down again. But oh yeah, we're on OBS now. We're in orange territory. So I think orange should be all right though. We'll see. But yeah, so we've got Dave and Davette. So we got to add some functionality. Or the other options, we could work on Amber's Tale. Or we can just make another game. Because to be fair, at this point, I think I've kind of learned what I wanted to learn from this game. So I'm still going to finish it because I want to have like a finished project. I mean, I've got a few finished projects, but like, you know, it's one of those cases where like this project was here to practice making UI elements. I've done that in the context of what I would do here. So now it's a case of, am I happy to leave this game here? We've added Dave. We've added Davette. Do I need to make this into a finished game? Or should I go back to working on my main project? Or should I just start another one completely? Twitch also just went into the red again, which I'm not overly impressed about. But we'll have to wait and see. This session is 1 minute and 30 in. Is that when I change things? No, it's still showing us unstable. Poor network detected. Why? Why, Twitch? It's just a bit unnecessary. Just a bit unnecessary. Idea, the stream makes a game. After the stream, you can make a video about it. That's something I am going to do at some point. I do want to make a collaborative thing. Basically, I'll stick up like some kind of mood board template, some kind of board that everyone can jump into, right? Everyone can jump into it, and I'll send a link to the Discord, and I'll just be like, all right, or make a bunch of polls and basically set it so like choose the genre, choose this, blah blah blah, and then I go in and make the game on stream or off stream. But that's probably not going to be for a couple months because I've got a lot going on this month now. I've got an awful lot going on. I've got I'm doing the global game jam on the weekend of the 25th. Or the 26th, I guess it is. But I'm starting on that Friday evening. I'm doing that with a couple friends. I'm doing a game jam. I'm doing the Software Pirate game jam starting this Friday with Dynam. So we're going to be working on that for the next 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, if I am streaming, I'll probably be streaming me working on that game. So that'll be pretty interesting. So you'll get a bit of an early insight into what Dynam and I are coming up with. Should be pretty epic. Pretty epic. And then, yeah, then through February, I'll be kind of back to normal. But I'm going to do another game jam throughout there. But with all this going on, I kind of want to make a little video. Or I need to discuss with Dynam to see if he's wanted to make a video on us doing the game jam. Which means that'll probably be my allocation for January. For my, like, rigid YouTube videos. And then February is probably going to be the next Amber's Tale devlog. Because I don't really have enough just yet to... I don't have enough just yet to kind of make a full devlog. But after a month, after like 3 weeks of work, I should be in the region of having enough content to kind of make a full kind of 7 to 8 minute devlog, which is kind of what I aim for. I try to aim for around 6 to 8 minutes. At a minimum anyway. If I can get more content out, then I would. But yeah, it's just one of those where we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Twitch is still showing as unstable, but at least it's like still up. So that's a saving grace here. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. YouTube is still technically my priority, but it'd be nice to get the Twitch stuff working. But yeah, until then, what would we like to do? What would we like? Would we rather... In fact, can I pull up like a poll maker so I can just share the poll in everything? Poll maker. Because then I can share this in both Twitch and YouTube, which is kind of what I'd want to do. All right, so do we want stream content? Do we want us to work on the clicker game? Do we want to work on Amber's Tale? Or start a new project. But all in capital letters, of course. There is no other way. We'll create the poll. And then I guess we click on this. I don't know. I'm gonna paste the link and see where it comes up to. If I click on like this, for example, and vote. Okay, it kind of shows down here. Alrighty, so we'll paste that in there. We'll get you all to lurk again, because I saw you went offline for a few minutes. Yeah, things are just not working out. But if you're lurking, you can choose what you want to see as a lurk. You can see what we're all making. Decide on the content type, and then I'll post that in the YouTube one. So have a gander at that, and we'll see what we're all wanting. If this works, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Responses. Pie chart. I don't know if this is going to update live as well as the issue. I should have really thought that through, shouldn't I? No comments. Share the poll. I don't even reload. If we go back. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we've got a few. We'll just have to keep reloading it, I guess. That's a bit stupid. Yeah, I shouldn't. I'll use a different one next time. But we got, by the looks of it, 2 votes for Amber's Tale and 1 for starting a new project. Fair. We'll just keep reloading every now and again. It is a shame we can't. 1 minute. I don't know. Wait for 2 minutes, then reload. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll leave this. I'll close this down for the time being. We'll play a little bit of our clicker game in the meantime. Just a little bit of our clicker. Everything seems to be fine with regards to streaming now, though, at this point. Unless something drastic changes. OBS is starting to just settle in a little bit. So, fingers crossed, we'll be alright. I think I just need to, like, set it up so I'm just streaming for, like, 5-10 minutes at the beginning of the stream, just with it going, and then figure it out from there. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah. Also, it's a Mogo. If you're still here, after watching your playthrough of your game, I'm very, very impressed. I must say. I'm very impressed. I was literally watching it with my jaw dropped, being like, this cannot be. No way he makes it look this easy. And you did. You made it look easy. And made me look bad. I just sat there thinking like, God, I just suck at video games. I just suck so bad. Which is another reason why, like, I didn't put an option for me to play a video game on here, because yeah, I don't know if me playing video games is the way to go. Let's get some villages. What do we need? 640 now, so now I have to click for a while, don't we? Gotta click for a little bit. 640. Yeah, I don't really play that many games anymore, to be honest. It's crazy. 120. I'm not clicking through that. Jesus. I shouldn't have made this like a double every time. I should have done some actual maths. But again, I wasn't too fussed about. If I was wanting to balance this, I'd do some actual maths to get it working, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned. Let's skip this song. I'm not a big fan of this one. Ooh. Now this one's a bit more my jam. I rate this. I'm rating it. Alright, I think it might be about time to check the poll. So I'm at this full screen. We'll do a little restart. A refresh. Looks like we've still got the same amount. So, it looks like it was 2 votes for Amber's Tale and 1 for starting a new project. So I guess that settles it, doesn't it? We're going to be starting a new project. No, we're not. We're going to be working on Amber's Tale. We're not starting a new project. Let's close this down. Do a little Control S for save. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what state I left Amber's Tale in. Also, we got this here. So if you want to do little demonstrations for people, we can do a little hello. Look, I'm prepared today. I'm prepared. Let's come in. We'll get Unity Hub open. And I also need a drink. Because if I'm going to be talking this much, it's got to happen. Oh, my neck. Jesus. Wonder if that gets like picked up on the actual stream. Oh, there we go. Bit of a caffeine-free Pepsi. Because man needs his beauty sleep in the morning. I need my beauty sleep. There we go. It did. Oh, as I've just opened another bottle, I found another one next to me. Typical. Typical. Did it update again, did you say? I'll vote for a clicker, just for the sake of it. Oh, no. It's all showing the same. Fair enough. Okay. Right. Let's see what state I left this game in, because I don't know. I don't know. And now, because I've not worked on this project for a good, like, pretty much a month at this point, right? Horror game? Yeah, I've been working on a little horror game right here. Just a little one. There's nothing much to it at the moment. But this is for the, this is a game that I've been working on for the Blackthorn Prodigy course. So all these little ones have been little different games that I can work my way through. I've still got to finish my horror game, and I'm not gonna lie, I've made much progress on it at all. I've got to make a horror game. I'll be making a zombie survival shooter, which, depending on the state that game ends up being in, I might actually end up putting up on Steam. We'll see. But they promise that by the end of that kind of course, you'll have a game that you can like fully like release to people. So that one at the very least will go on itch.io. So it would be nice to have a game actually available. How much did the course cost? It was £270. Because I got 50% off, which was very, very nice. Very, very nice. But there's an awful lot of content, and even me, as I've said this before, I kind of consider myself to be an intermediate game dev. I wouldn't class myself as a beginner anymore, and I'm still gaining an absolute shit ton of value from that course. So yeah, especially from the programming side, because like I'm good when it comes to the game design side of stuff. That's been my main focus for the longest time. And kind of setting up different systems and things, but when it came to the programming side of things and the actual like thinking like a programmer, I've always really struggled with that aspect. But now, like, don't get me wrong, I've still got an awful lot to learn, but like that clicker game, for example, 99% of that I've hand programmed myself, and literally just worked in it from just thinking logistically. Following different thought process from that course. So I'm pretty proud of that, to be fair. I didn't have to search for any resources online. I just kind of used my internal knowledge and started programming, which is very nice. Very, very satisfying, for sure. Very satisfying. All right, so this is where we're at with this. You got 50 followers, Dynam. Hello and welcome. Hello, maintaining the streak. Yeah, we got it. And not only that, we got our first donation. I know, from the same guy, Kuba, if he is still here. To be fair, I think everyone's dropped off Twitch because it kind of crashed a few times. Standard stuff, of course. Like, is it even a Lazy T stream if things don't fuck up, even just a little bit? A £6.9 donation, of course. Of course, it had to be 6.9. It had to be the funny number. And I respect that a ridiculous amount. I got to rewatch that on YouTube. That, to be fair, the actual hitting 50, I don't think we got on stream. I think I clicked stream and it happened very quickly afterwards, so I don't know if it got caught. But the £6.5 donation, yeah. We had a little text-to-speech announcement going on, saying that Amber's Tale was in fact better than League of Legends, which, you know, I do got to agree with. League of Legends, it's a terrible game. I'm addicted to it, so I'm allowed to say that. I'm an avid player of the League of Legends. God, I hate that game. But I'm stuck. I'm stuck playing it because there's nothing else. The funny number, exactly. So we've had to readjust. We got this. And I'm like thinking to myself, in my brainsticles, it might be a saving grace that Twitch actually got corrupt at the beginning and was crashing, because now we've hit 50 followers, we've hit the average viewer count, and we've hit the like length of stream taken. The only thing that I have to do in order to get affiliate is stream twice. Now this stream obviously counts as one of those, but the fact that the stream crashed half an hour through and multiple times and it's restarted, I'm thinking, is that going to count as different streams? So we could potentially, on the stream tomorrow, be monetized. We could be affiliate. It could have happened. I'm addicted to Mobile Legends. God, yeah, I played that for a little bit as well. I don't typically like playing stuff on my phone anymore. Like, I used to play a lot, and I mean a lot, of Clash of Clans back in the day. A lot of Clash of Clans. And Clash Royale when it came out. And even somewhat recently, I tried to get into the Warcraft Rumble. But after that, I just don't think I've got the patience to sit in front of my mobile. I'd rather be, if I'm using my mobile, I don't like to have it like for gaming anymore. I don't know. It's similar to LoL. Yeah, to be fair, I'm pretty sure LoL like sued them a couple times because they basically ripped most of the stuff from it, but they ended up changing a lot later on down the line. So it is its own game now. But when it first released, pretty sure like LoL like sued them because they had like, it was basically a carbon copy. It was hilarious. It could will have happened. Very true. Very true. Llama, they definitely got sued multiple times. Yeah, 100%. There's no way in hell they didn't. Like, they were literally ripping off other companies. Like, I'd be very, 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 I'd be impressed if they hadn't have been sued. So yeah, we'll have to see where that goes. Alrighty. Where am I at with this game? Where am I at with this? I need to suss myself out. So let's plot the map. It's been so long since I've worked on it that I don't really know. I don't really know what I've been going for. Oh, did I not delete this stuff last time? I didn't delete the stuff that I had on the stream. No. Samvan, roses are red, cacti are prickly. Trying to read this. Lol, I achieved my goal. What? I'm very confused as to what's going on. This is what happens when I don't read chat. I need to just, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't think I resolved this issue. So am I able to like come in and just replace color? Can I do that? Can I just make this like all transparent? Do that. Alpha 0. There we go. Look at that. Genius. Genius. Alrighty. It has to be on separate days, right? I don't know. Because I've only streamed on Twitch. This is technically my third stream on Twitch. But it's counting that I've done 5. And that's on the achievement. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, if it wants to give me affiliate earlier, I'll take it. Because it'd be nice to, you know, have that stuff. I'm not going to activate ads straight away or anything, because, like, until you stream to, like, a decent amount of people, there's absolutely no point in putting ads on, because all it's going to do is just get in the way of, like, your experience watching, and I'd get, like, pennies for it, so there's absolutely no point. 0 point in adding, in turning on the advertisements. But it does mean at that point, at least, you know, I can beg for Twitch subscriptions, Twitch Primes, and all that kind of jazz, and you unlock you just unlock a bunch of features, which will just be nice to have. It'll be very nice to have. I need to go eat and get some nutrition. I'm kind of malfunctioning right now. Oh no, go get some iron. Right? Did I get it right? I don't know. We haven't tried it yet. We do have some. We have some plain yogurt in the fridge. We don't have any natural yogurt in the fridge. So I don't think we can give it a proper. Can't give it the good old college try just yet. But we are going to try that at some point. How do you get some nutrition? Quite simply, by eating. Just eat, man. Just eat or drink. Acquire nutrition. Yeah, there's many ways to go about it. Very true. I had a Mackey's for brunch. Lunch. When I got a burger. Because our oven's broken. Swear, nothing goes right in this accommodation that I'm living in. So yeah, how do you eat nutrition? That's a good question. What you do is you get a tin of SpaghettiOs. The alphabet spaghetti. You spell out the word nutrition on the plate. And you eat it. I have school tomorrow, so you got to do homework. Damn, that sucks, man. I already have today. Imagine needing to go to school. I say that like I have to go to work, so I've got it much worse. I've got to go back to work on Wednesday. Someone clip this spaghetti part. To be fair, yeah, the clips are over on the clips I think work on Twitch now as well. I had a couple people actually do some little clips. There was someone who clipped the actual like the beginning of scene where it was literally just like the starting soon screen, and that got clipped. I don't know why. It wasn't very entertaining, but even still, I say that like the rest of my stream is. I don't know. Y'all, I have an idea. Go on. Give us the idea. What is it gonna be? I know how to get a 3D printer for free. Do you print one with a 3D printer? Did I get there first? 3D print a 3D printer. Yeah. Exactly. Big brain. Big brain. The fact that someday could actually happen. Like when technology gets to a point where you can actually like artificially craft anything. Big brain. Exactly. Ginormous brain. The biggest of brains. Like literally though, like unironically, the fact that one day you'll be able to just print food as well. You could literally say to like a robot, like, make me a cake, and it'll just be like, there we go. Literally. You could just do a Glock 18 with a 3D. Exactly. To be fair, you can. I've seen someone actually already like 3D print a gun. I have seen like a working one. Can we make Silk Song? I wish we could make Silk Song. We can make a Silk Song inspired game. And to be fair, I do need to work on a few different. I need to update Amber's control set a little bit so I can add a bit more like versatility to it. Because don't know if you've seen in the Lazy T Discord server, definitely worth joining. Hint, hint. Grabbing a link as we speak. Boom, and we'll stick it in the Twitch one as well. A boom. Yeah, you should totally follow. You should totally join. It's great. But there's a guy in there who is making a Silk Song clone, using the actual art and everything, and it looks incredible. Here. Like, they've got the movement down, and it's very, very impressive. Like, with the ledge grab and everything like that. And this bit as well. I need my movement to be a bit more like this. I need my movement to be a bit more fluid, let's say. Because at the moment, like, don't get me wrong, I like how the character feels. I like how the controls feel. It is quite nice. And I like the aesthetic appeal of it all and all that kind of jazz. But it would be nice to get kind of those additional features in. Like, and it does all tie together really nicely and that kind of stuff, but it would be nice to be able to, like, do those little downward dashes and things like that, I must say. So we'll just have to, one day I'm just going to sit down and revamp the movement ever so slightly. Because I've been working really hard on certain aspects, like for example, the camera system in Amber's Tale is, like, solid as all hell. Like, it's so easy to just like convert different bits, and I'm really enjoying where we're at with that. But the rest of it, and then adding sound effects. Oh my god, the difference adding sound is going to do to this. It's going to be redonkulous. Did I actually set up the next scene? I can't remember. Well, I did something. All right, well, let's close this down either way. And then what we'll do is we'll come along and we'll get scene 3 open. Zone 1, scene 3. That's the one. We'll open it additive. There we are. And then this one will be in level, objects, portals, portal right. Okay. Can I get these in? There we are. So I can see everything together. Woo! I want to just... I can words today. I want to print just inside a little 3D printed box. So I can say, it's just in case. Damn. What? I'm literally looking at the side. I can see that there's like errors going on. And then I'll be like, it's not. Oh. Is that it? Is that it? So if I now come along, remove that. Was that just it? I just didn't put it in the build settings. Let's have a gander. Boom, boom, boom. I need to make some more enemies as well, actually. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it does work now. Happy days. And this is the big area. Nice. Okay. So we need to get some level design going. So we're making this area currently, which we said was going to have a bit of a focus on platforming. Is that the Little Nightmares kid with more controls? No. This is Amber. It's Amber. Where is she? Just Amber. She's pretty epic. I need to get a little pop-up so I can actually like showcase some of her art as well, because we've got some like sick ass concept art for the different characters. It's really good shit. Here we are. Like, look at this stuff that we've got. Boom. Amber. Aveline, one of the other characters we've got. And then this guy. I don't know what their name is. All I know, well, I know a lot about them actually, because I'm writing the lore. Whoa. But they don't have a name. They don't have a name yet, but they are a celestial being. And they are the celestial being that guides adventurers. They're going to end up giving you the map and showing you how to use the map. And basically give you points of interest, essentially. Then we've got some little old sprites. And then Granny Nova, who's going to be the first shopkeeper that you meet. A lovely old woman. She's such a blessing of a human. So wholesome, so lovely. It's going to be great. I can't wait to get her program back in, because I've got her sprites. I've got her a little shop going. Where would it be? Sprites level. If I just type in Nova. I need a shop. I mean, these are the animations. Maybe it's in this. Nova, narrative text box. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I mean, there she is in the game. Rah! Very big. Very big. I need to reorganize this. I just didn't keep things organized, and I'm really regretting it now. Portals, particle setup. Now, I think I might have deleted it, actually. Can't exactly remember. Is it this? No, that's just Nova. This? Oh, yeah, there we go. I don't know. It's this. With animations, I need to set up new animations. No, I don't really want to. So I'll just drag her in. But, like, that's going to be a little shop. How cute's that? How cute. So it'll be up here somewhere or other. You'll drop it in. She's animated. She does a little blink kind of thing. And then when you speak to her, it'll come up with her little sprite with the text thing. So you'll be able to actually engage with the character and see them rather than just as little pixels. You'll be able to actually see the character concept art on the screen as you're talking to them, which I think is a very nice little flair. I quite like it. I think it would be nice if you outlined the player or something, because it blends on with the background a little bit. Yeah, see, the thing is, we've got blur on the background, so at the moment, when it's like this, it's not massively difficult, because you can see that she's always moving. But what I'm probably going to do is add a bit of a light behind her instead, so as a bit of a highlight. Because it's a bit easier when the background's blurred, especially like compared to when it's like this. When it's like this, it's pretty tricky. But then when you blur it, you can see her a little bit better. But what I'm probably going to do, I can't remember if I've actually still got it set up. I'm going to player, lights. Oh, here we go. Background light. If we turn that on, we make this a little bit smaller. Up the intensity a little bit. Lower the opacity. Maybe set it as more of an orange kind of vibe, or maybe even white. Something more along these kind of lines. And that's on background close. We duplicate this. And then we make this background mid? No. Oh no, it wouldn't be background mid. It would be mid-ground, right? No. Oh wait, no, yeah, I need to change this as well. So mid-ground back, and then it would also lighten up these bits. That's right. This is also making me aware of the fact that I have not adjusted these things. Platforms, it's not going to be there. Background close, it's going to be on destroyable ferns. There we go. These are not on the mid-ground back layer. There we go. So now when you move, it'll kind of like highlight behind you a little bit. So it's a bit easier to see everything. You'll have that kind of like light effect. So it won't be this potent, but you'll be able to see everything a little bit easier. Let's see how it looks in the caves, because that's probably where it's most important, right? So you come along. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. It's a bit easier to see her. Maybe something along those lines, you know? So it is what it is. But I really need to organize my hierarchy and such, because this is just not great at the moment. But what I will do, I'll come straight into the ferns, and I'll just update them now. So that they're on the mid-ground. Is it mid-ground back that I want them on? Or mid-ground front? I can't remember what the different layers are. It's been so long. I set a bunch of them up, but I can't remember what they're all meant to do. I think it's mid-ground back. So mid-ground back. And while we're here, let's get the player sorted then again. So we'll turn this on. Make that white. Oh no, we'll make it grey, because I feel like that's just going to stand out a little bit more. Set that to like 0.7. Background close. We're going to multiply. We're going to bring it in smaller, just so it's less in your face. Maybe like 15. Make the fall off strength a little bit less. Maybe at like 0.75. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see how this ends up looking. Just on the background elements. So yeah, you can see on the background there, on the trees, as we're walking past them, it's like creating a bit of a white tint, which makes it easier to see everything. I guess what would be a smart thing to do would actually be to make that like more of a blue. Like that. I mean, obviously not this intense, because that then just doesn't look good. But something along these lines could be what we want. Because naturally blue is the complementary color of, well, not exactly blue. It's like more of a blue purple kind of like hint is the complementary color to yellow. So if we want the yellow to stand out, or the orange to stand out, we want to be using like blue colors behind to accent it, because that'll pop most. But in this case, it's kind of close to white anyway. Yeah, we always make it a bit darker. I mean, the white, the issue with this is as well, is that it kind of just like, it kind of just contrasts. It looks like the light, because it's on the shadows behind, it looks like you're actually really quite far in front of them, which I'm not a big fan of, because the light isn't also on amber. So it might be worth... Oh, I wonder, actually. Because we've got a fog layer. It might be worth just making it go onto that fog instead. So if we get rid of objects, it'll be on background. It wouldn't be on ground. It'd be on background close fog. Because we've got this fog layer here. And does the light does reflect on that. Which is kind of what we want. So would it be worth making a separate layer just for the fog? You're on play, by the way, so it won't save. Yeah, I know. I don't want it to save. I'm just kind of testing things out to see which ends up looking the best, because I'm not a massive fan of it only showing on the background there, because it just makes it look flat. I'm not a massive fan of it. And also, oh yeah, also it does that when you do the screen shake. That's why I don't like to shine a light on it. And I don't know how to fix that problem. Because essentially what's happening is the light itself is applying the screen shake, but the trees aren't. So that's why I didn't do it on that. That makes more sense. That I remember now. What it might be worth doing is setting up a separate layer for the fog. That only the light from the player can react to, and seeing how that works, because then it won't apply to any of the background or the trees, but you'll still get that light effect coming through on the fog, which could work. So what we'll do is we'll give that a go. So we'll create an empty and we'll call it fog layer. Let's come along, and it'll be between the foreground and the background close, which is what we want. These two layers, both the fogs need to be on there. From a parallax perspective, what are they looking at? The first fog, if the fog is at 0, I'd say the first fog, which lights up the background close. We don't need it to be on background close. We can have that be on midground back. Or we could have it on background mid. I mean, we can always just rename this later. We'll stick it on midground mid for the time being. Just set it to like 0. And what we'll do, we'll just increase the opacity just so we can see what it's doing. Okay, so it is behind everything. Stick this on background close. What else comes through? Midground back, yeah. So not everything is on that midground layer. What is this on? So this is the checkpoint. Oh, I just haven't set it so the tent is on the right. Midground back. Oh, it is on midground back. We set this to like... Oh, if we leave this at 0, actually, if we make the fog just on like -100 on the midground back, it should show behind everything. So when we switch between these two, nothing should really change other than the trees. Or when we switch to... Yeah, that should be fine. And then we would still want the light to react to the things that are in this scene. So we then go onto the player light. We adjust this to affect midground back. There we go. So you can see that kind of like light there. We definitely don't need it that bright. We could probably do with actually that being a bit larger. I think I do want it to have quite a large fall off, but then have a lower opacity. 0.5, like so. We'll keep that like that, and we'll see. Oh no, that's going to light those up quite a lot. So we'll maybe set that to 0.2. And then, when we go onto the fog, we'll lower the opacity back down on the fog. Yeah, the background makes a lot of difference. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Set that to 30. The lights and the backgrounds make a huge difference. Like all the post-processing effects. Huge. Huge. Why is this not showing? Oh, we need to turn it off that and set this to be on the mid-ground layer. There we go. So now that still affects everything there. We might just need to increase the lighting a little. And also, why all of a sudden is the background looking ass? Was it really the fog doing all of that work? It might just be. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What did we change? Because all we did was change the fog stuff. And all of a sudden, this whole layer is so much darker now. Was this just... What? Oh, yeah, that's because it's still... Let me change this to be on the mid-ground layer. Minus 100, mid-ground back. And then we still need to add a fog layer to the mid-ground close, just to add that that layer there. So we set that to be on mid-ground close, set it to 0, background close, just to add that contrast to the trees, because they were looking a bit dark. And it's not nighttime, so we can't have them be looking dark. Okay, obviously that is too much of a fog effect, but the point still stands. What are we looking at with the lights? The light here definitely needs to be a bit brighter. So just for argument's sake, let's set this to 0.5 just to see what it ends up looking like. Okay. Fall off strength. Let's increase that up. Okay, that's working on the background, which is not what we wanted. We don't want this on the background anymore. Why is it still... Oh, I didn't adjust the light as well. Of course. Mid-ground, and then this does not affect background close. Okay. There we go. So now it'll only affect the mid-ground things. And we can also set it so it affects the foreground if we really wanted to. But you can see what kind of problems that causes. Yeah, it gets rid of all our lighting effects. I mean, this would have to come down to like 5. Like that. So that kind of radius I feel is actually pretty good. And we want the fall off applied. Maximize that. It does mean when we get close to areas like here, it is going to kind of showcase them, which I'm not a massive fan of. But having it kind of showcase on the floor like that, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. Maybe I'll turn it off the mid-ground floor. Now the only issue we have is the fact that it's only really showing on decorative items, whereas we want it to kind of show everywhere. So let's see if we forgot to adjust the fog layer stuff again. So that's on the mid-ground back. If we make this brighter, yeah, you can see that the light does affect it there. But it's because it's got such a low kind of opacity, we're not really getting the effect we want. What could we do to fix that? Just out of curiosity. If I turn the fog into a bloom, add a bloom effect to the fog. Well, make the light more intense. The issue with setting the light more intense is these foreground objects will end up being too bright. So if I do that, you can see the effect it has in the foreground. I don't know, this is too complicated. To be fair, I've just got a lot, there's just a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts to get the aesthetic I'm looking for. Make it flicker. The other option is making this like additive, like that. So instead of blending in with the background, it just kind of sits as a layer on top. So we'd set that to like 3. Maybe even 2 or 1. But you can see that really makes it stand out. And then we can just change the opacity even. So let's actually set this to be like 4. That definitely highlights the player. Like this. But again, not really out in the open. But I don't think when we're out in the open like this, it's much of a problem. It's only really a problem here, isn't it? Like when you're running around on the ground. That's where the main problem lies. Change the color. Yeah, it's a bit more, make it a bit more natural. White. We could set it to be more of this kind of color. Or if we wanted it to stand out and make it easy to see amber, you can do this, right? But to make it kind of fitting, we'd want to do that. But then, does amber actually stand out? You know? I mean, she's still a bit easier to see. Yellow looks cool. It's still a lot. The thing is, as soon as I do this, in my opinion, it just makes the decorations just look flat. That's my problem with it, personally. It makes the decorations look... It makes it look very 2D. So, I don't know. Let's save this again. Southgander. I mean, either way, I think this is a bad representation of what it will look like, because I think either way, what we need to do is we need to adjust the fog. Is it this one? Oh, this is the front one. We need this and this one combined to be just a little bit less. So I'll set that to 10. If I set this one to 10 as well. 20. I think that's closer to the kind of vibe I'm wanting anyway. Like so. I think that's close to the vibe. Oh dear. Ew. Ew. Yeah, so we'll switch that around now actually. So fog in a cave. This was the fog layer, so we set that one to 20, didn't we? And then fog in the background layer to 10. The combat is cool. Thank you very much. I'll show you a little bit more. We've got some pogoing and stuff. It still needs a lot of refining. There's still a lot of work to do on this stuff. But we've got the pogo working, the smash. We've got our little slam ability, which is pretty nice. Deals double damage. Feels very impactful. I'm really excited to get the sound effects in for that, because that's just going to look sick once we get it working. Boom, boom. We got the little combo working as well. So if you do attack slowly, you do the same one, but if you do a combo or attacks quickly, you get double. I like it. I like it. And then, of course, we've got our skill tree going. Whee! I can reset those. Boom. It's all just a bit, it all just feels quite nice. Feels quite nice. While the particles and stuff really make it look sick. Thank you very much. I really like the rocks that spawn, because they actually interact with the world as well when you do the ground pound. I think it looks pretty sick. I like it. Another thing I could potentially do to help with the outlining of the player is add a shader. Now, figuring out how I'd actually implement that, because I've already got one that I could use. And I'll show you the context, because I made another little game, this one, Wizard Survivors. Which you'll never guess is my personal knockoff of Vampire Survivors. So we'll just have to, we'll see, because it'd be pretty cool to get the, you'll see very, very clearly the type of shader that I've got working for it. And I think for visibility, it would work really well in this context. But we'd have to see. We'd have to see, because that might be a bit too much is the issue. As soon as it loads. I've not worked on this game in a hot minute. Because it was one that I kind of dropped. I was working on it with a couple of the programmers. But we all just had different priorities with different projects and such, so we never got around to actually finishing it. But the shader that I made is in this project. So yeah. Oh, it's taking a while. We're running the back end stuff, cool. But for now, that's not really a priority anyway. The priority is getting the rest of the levels made. Because I don't need to worry about making it look pretty or anything like that just yet. But I do need to get the the map made, in essence. Because I've still got an internal kind of deadline of having this demo, so this entire demo, so this whole area, including the different bosses and enemies that you're going to encounter. My personal deadline for getting all this done is May, so I'm not actually that far away, which is kind of scary. All right, we do have the Wizard Survivors thing, so I'll press play. It's a very little game. You play as a wizard. You kind of wander around. Oh, let me get the music turned off. There we go. So you can wander around. You have the different layers going on, so you can and then you can shoot fireballs. So this project I was working on Bloom and different systems like that. So it's all pretty cool. I really like this one. And enemies will spawn. I can't remember if the is the enemy spawner active? No. Let's activate that. So we'll get some enemies spawning. I'm going to show you what it's about. So we've got these little enemies that'll come along, and as you kill enemies, you'll gain experience. And different enemies will have different... Oh, there we go. Top-notch graphics, as you can see. Programmer graphics going on. Love it. Be this one. There we go. I mean, this is a cool ability. Probably showing you with that, with the AoE probably wasn't the best. Probably wasn't the best call. But what I can show you is, like, when we go behind trees, we have this kind of thing going on. So having something like this, but instead of it kind of just outlining the whole player, just having it actually outline the, well, having it emphasize the actual outline itself. And this was kind of tricky. I can't really remember how I did this, to be honest. It was a while ago that I set this up. It was a while ago. So we've got the player, and then it was two separate animated. Like, we had this animated mask with the outline fill. No fill. So is it this having it outline? I can't remember. Just out of curiosity, let me add it to this, and we'll see what it looks like. So this was no fill, so it's this one that I want. That's not ideal. Bring this down. 0. I don't know. Or is it... Was it this one? Fill? Oh, there we go. Yeah, something like this. So it's actually outlining the actual item itself. This is the one I wanted. So I could set this to be 0. How many pixels thick I want it to be? 70. 7 pixels thick. But obviously I would probably just stick with the 1. Like this. So, I mean, I could try. I could see, is that the no fill? So that's this shader graph. How complicated is it? Not massively. Okay. I could probably make this in Amber's Tale, right? It's an unlit. Let's set it so it's lit. So sprite lit. Save that. And let's see if it still works in the game as a lit shader. Because that could mess things up. Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, we can give it a go. Let's give it a go. I'm just going to pull this over. In fact, now, what I'll do. Pop this out. There we go. Minimize this. Is there a way you can copy and paste it in the game? I don't actually know. So we're gonna find out. Make this a little bit bigger. So what we'll do, it's in art materials. Let's create one called player outline. Oh yeah, I forgot I set up the Unity control, the version control in this. I don't know what I'm doing with this at all. I don't know. Pixelated wave, we don't need that, so we can close that tab. And what we'll do is we'll actually close down these other scenes as well. Remove and remove. Just so we can get a clear picture on the character, so we can really see them. Player. There we go. And we're going to need the animator component, which is, oh no, the sprite render. This is the one we want. So this is where the actual shader's going to go. So we'll, in fact, yeah, let's see if we can just copy and paste it. So if I come along, I'll just tab this back in. Can I just Control C, Control V? Or just get this over here and drag it over. Oh, that worked. And if I open up the shader graph, is it gonna actually open? Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, we've learned something today. You can do that. Let's create a material. Player outline. Lit. We'll drop that on there. We'll set this to be 1. Set the outline to that. That's fine. Then click on the player and add this to Amber. Now that's not working the way it should do. It actually worked, lol. I literally, that saved an awful lot of time. All right, now 0, 1. No, that's not working. Why ain't that working? Tangent, main texture. It's on this main text, yeah. Inherit, yeah. Precision exposed. Outline color is white. That's fine. Opacity. I don't know if this is gonna fix anything at all. Maybe there should be a script or something that goes with it. I don't think there is. If I remember how I actually structured it, I'm pretty sure there isn't. Oh, maybe it's something to do with this. A blend tree. Texture size, multiply. Maybe this needs to go out. Outline thickness. Yeah, okay. So there was another layer to this. So if I drag this over, I don't know what I need to do with it though. This all goes into output, which is this. That's the thing. I don't really know what this is doing. Goes into output alpha. Texture thickness. Outline. Fill. How many colors that? Texture thickness. I can't remember if this is like what it goes into. May she change at all? No. Save asset. I'll just save everything. What is this? Does this go into the regular outline, maybe? I'll pull this over so you can see what we're doing. Or is this the one? This is the outline. No fill. Branch, companion. And on this, the shader we stuck on it was outline sprite. Oh no, we put the outline sprite on. So it's the other one that we put. We put the fill. We copied the fill one over, rather than the outline. So it was this one we wanted. Wait, no. Yeah, so we want this on there. Well, that's not good. Open this one up. Okay, now none of these work because we don't have something going on. What is the difference between these two? So outline is sampling the main texture. Alpha main text, which is underscore main text, non-white, inherit, exposed, yeah. And then thickness, underscore outline thickness, default. That's all showing the same, 0, 1, all that kind of stuff. Could not find subgraph asset. Outline sample. So we do have the subgraph, which is this. This is the subgraph. That's checking in. Can I drop this in like that? Okay, so this is actually what this needs to be, because that's a subgraph. So if we were to just, can we replace this? Convert to subgraph, outline subgraph. Yes. Shit. That was not right. So now this is broken as well, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, let's delete that. And we'll bring it back over again. So now if I bring that, there we go, that works. So what we'll do is we'll just copy everything over. It's fine. That goes into there, that goes into there. That is a 1. You can go away. Like that. Delete that. Let's bring you in there. You in there. You in there. And then you at -1. God, I hope this works. This is where it doesn't even look good when we get it completed and we decide that it was not worth doing in the first place. Delete that. Bring that over. And then this is 1. Bring that over. That's all fine with the subgraphs. Everything's working. Okay, that should be fine. Ah, why? It's doing it. It's doing it. All right, so that just needs to be a lit shader now. So outline. So I need to come in graph settings and make that a lit shader. Just so amber. Oh, it needs to be lit sprite. Yeah, and then she actually reacts to the light around her. So let's see how this feels. You'll be back in 2 minutes. Not to worry, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there we go. Just on the character itself. Now the question is this better? That's what the question becomes. Is this better than before? Oh, and it's going to go all around the sprites as well. I don't know if I want that. It's going to go all around that too. I mean, I guess it does make it easier to see. It does add to the kind of cartoony effect of it. You can definitely see the character much better. Much better. Ooh, we don't have that setting going on. That is something that's going to be that's going to be something that's up for debate, I think, as to whether that's preferential. We could always have it as an optional setting, you know? Like if you're struggling to see the character, you can like just select this option. Oh, I really need to work on that jump. That wall jump. Because sometimes you just really can't... You don't get anywhere. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this is something that's going to need a bit of testing. It worked, I know! It also highlights the different shaders and stuff that we've got going on. The different components like this. It definitely adds to the kind of like... I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. It feels almost like Paper Mario-esque now. Having that outline. In a weird way, if that makes sense. Whoa, that was weird. It worked. You definitely can't miss Amber now. You definitely can't miss Amber. It's very obvious where she is. And everything is working. Wait, there's definitely things we can do to kind of make this look a bit more natural. For example, like we could put this on the enemies as well, in theory. So if we came along, let's put it on this guy. Be this one. So we can do stuff like this. It looks great. It's weird. Like it does look good, but I'm just not 100% sure whether it works in the context of this, because it definitely just makes everything stand out now. Like there isn't that subtlety. It definitely makes it doesn't necessarily feel part of the world, if that makes sense. Like you don't feel as part of the world. But I guess another thing we could always do is we can come into the shader. Ah, no, we can't. We can make it a different color. Make it more of a gray. Or as you say, for the enemies, we can make it red. We'd have to make a slightly different one in that case. So we'll have to we'll duplicate this and call it enemy outline. And this we could make red. Maybe more of a blood red though. Click on this guy. And there it is. Enemy outline. There we go. Oh yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit darker again. So it kind of matches the eyes a little bit like that. Kind of like that, I guess. We'll add it to the we'll add it to this guy as well. Oh, that's very dark on them, though. I don't know. I don't know. Or just say, just make it bright red. Oh, thank you for the follow. The Mysterious Maniac. The Mysterious Maniac. Thank you very much for following. Appreciate it. Doing a little bit, just a smidge of work, doing some shader stuff. Hello. So we need some opinions, right? We've just got this shader working that outlines the player in our game and the enemies. Now the question is, well, I've got a fly going around me. The question is it better? So is this better than this? So we'll have to come along, select you, and both of you just get lit. Get the lit shader, sprite blur, sprite lit default, and the player gets the same. So player lit, sprite lit default. So did it look better before, or does it look better like this? Going around without it. Granted, I think they both have their merits. I think fucking fly. This makes you feel like you're actually part of the world a bit more. But it is harder to see the character in some instances. You know? Especially in like the darker caves like this, it can be a bit tricky to see the character. That is granted. But is this better? Clarity is king. True. And this is a potential way we can make things a bit clear. Red just outlines bad. Red equals dead. If that may... Oh, Jesus. Red equals will make you dead. But is this better? So I feel like this one matches the sprites better. So like this, so having it more pixelated, kind of like this, with the explicit outlines. Let's see what it looks like in the caves. You are definitely able to see the character a lot more clearly in the caves. This is something. Maybe I can have it as like by this by default, but I could always have a setting. Whoa, fallen, missed the armrest. I could always have it as a setting so you could turn it off. This is an option. I'm unsure. I'm undecided. I'll probably end up leaving it to a poll. I'll probably make a little. I'll make a short after this, and kind of see what the general consensus is from the masses, you know. But the more I'm seeing this, the more it is growing on me, I must say. It is growing on me. And then anything interactable, we could update as well. Yeah, or a short. Yeah, that's... I'm going to make a short. Do like a YouTube post. I might just do both. There's nothing to stop me doing both, to be honest. More data potential. New viewer, did you go to Skill YouTube learn this stuff? I learned most of my stuff on YouTube. Most game development stuff that I know, I did learn from YouTube. I did do a university degree in game design. Which I'm not gonna lie, didn't teach me much in the actual making of games department. Most of the practical stuff that I learned from like in the actual using Unity, doing all that kind of stuff is self-taught from YouTube. And just from making a bunch of different games. But going to university gave me more of a background knowledge on actually how games work from a fundamental level. So like I'll kind of draw a little example here. You've got loads of different departments, right? You've got art over here. So you've got art, you've got programming, prog, you've got design, you've got QA. so quality assurance, game testing and stuff. You've got so much more. You've got sound design, so sound, and that covers music, so any SFX, any music. You've got also just being a game director or game manager kind of thing, so the one who's basically connecting and oh, am I pressing Z? And this the person doing this is basically making sure everything runs smoothly between the different departments. You've also got social media management, social media, so marketing, that is a bad M. Social media marketing for the game. There's so many aspects of game development, right? And as an indie developer, you have to know everything. Or at least have a knowledge of everything. You don't have to be a pro, but you have to dip your toes in every single aspect. University gave me the foundational knowledges of this in my first year, and when I kind of this, but not really. There was at my university, or at least for the degree I did, there was a separate course that focused on like programming, not just for games, but programming generally. I did 1 year doing this, and then I switched my degree to focus on design. But the first year of doing my game design degree, we did the same first year as the artists. So we had an appreciation for what the artists do. Because as designers, generally speaking, we work quite similarly to a director in the way that we have to communicate with all the different departments, right? A programmer is going to be given basically be given a design document. The same with an artist. They'll essentially be given a design document saying, I want this feature and this is kind of how I want it to be done. And they make the things. But the designer has to kind of test it, make sure things work coherently together, make sure everything works. So I'm more of a generalist is what I would say. I focus on this. I write documentation. I come up with the ideas. I think about how they'll work together, how different systems engage with each other. So that knowledge I got from going to university, but pretty much everything else I learned from YouTube. Like what I know from programming for the most part was learned from a guy called Bardent. Sound design is something I don't really enjoy. But I'm working with two phenomenal musicians, the Millen brothers, who do all the sound design and music for the game. I do the social media stuff myself, and my partner is currently kind of looking at setting up their own SMMA, social media marketing agency. So they should be able to help me with this later on down the line. QA, I've got a fucking phenomenal community working with me, the Lazy community, so I can literally just put into Discord, does anyone want to play my game? And I'll have a bunch of people who want to kind of play it and test it out, so I can get constant data points from getting people testing the game. Art, I work with again, two phenomenal artists, Hannah and Pen USB Mike, and they do the art for the game. I have to do the programming, which I'm not the biggest fan of. It's like I enjoy it, but it's not my favorite thing. I'm definitely a designer. But all of this you can learn online. It'll take a while because like there's a lot. Like look at it. You have to learn all of these. This one on itself, people can dedicate their entire life to programming. People can dedicate their entire life to art. People dedicate their entire life to sound. If you want to make games on your own, you have to know all of them. So it's a lot. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. And it's possible just doing it on YouTube. It just depends on your learning style, you know? Like, if you need to be directed in your workflow, a course or going to uni could be something that helps you. But if you're a pretty self-driven person and you don't necessarily like the kind of educational environment, YouTube's probably a better option. There probably isn't much point in you going to uni for that kind of stuff. But it depends on your kind of preferences. Depends on your preferences. So you had to learn all the technical jargon for the development program as well. That's arguably the hardest part in my mind. It's not actually that bad, you know. It's not really that bad. Like the technical jargon is stuff that you just pick up. You pick that up. Like, and generally there isn't much jargon, really. Like, most things are just abbreviations. And if you, like, find out what what it actually abbreviates, they're usually pretty explanatory. Like QA, quality assurance. You're assuring the quality of the product. You know? I'm trying to think off the top of my head what kind of other jargon would generally be used. I mean, do you have any examples of technical jargon that you maybe could misinterpret? And I'll see if we can kind of figure it out, because I'm trying to figure out. I think it's because I don't think it's really any different from any general workplace. Like, I've worked for a few different places at this point, including some banks. I've worked for a couple banks before, and they've got a lot of jargon that you have to decipher. That doesn't make any sense like at all, and a lot of it is like very redundant. So comparatively, coming from that background and into game design, it didn't feel that overwhelming at all. It's better to dictate mostly on one and just the basics of the other categories. Again, though, it depends what you want to do. If you're wanting to be a solo developer, you will have to learn all of them. And I would say be a jack of all trades and a master of none. But if you want to kind of get into the industry and maybe you prefer, or you really enjoy programming, or you really enjoy the art side of things, but you really don't like programming, for example, you don't like having a general knowledge. I mean, as an art, let's take art as an example. Let's say you really like doing art and you want to be a 3D modeler, and that's all you want to do. You don't really want to worry about programming or design or QA or anything like that. You don't really need much of an understanding of this. You don't need a knowledge of them if you're only focused on the art. But, I mean, maybe design to some extent. As an artist, having some design knowledge would work, I think. But you don't really need to know how to program if you only want to be an artist. Unless you want to be like a technical artist, for example. And doing things like making shaders and that kind of stuff, where then there's a bit of an overlap. But it depends on what you want to do. If all you're wanting to do is make models and make cool ass looking stuff, then yeah, just focus on that one thing and really get good at it. But if you're wanting to make games and you're wanting to do it either in a small team or on your own, you will need some knowledge of everything. But you could just really put your heart and soul into learning 3D design, Blender, or different other softwares like that, things like Substance Painter, and you could get into the game industry as an artist. You don't need this knowledge. So yeah, again, it depends. What do you want? What do you enjoy? And what do you think you could like do for a long time? So, yeah. Me, I want to work in a small team. I don't like, I would love the opportunity to work in a larger scale studio, and if I were to do that, I'd heavily focus more on the design aspect, which is why I'm doing things at the moment like making a bunch of different projects with focusing on different mechanics and things like that, so I can expand my personal knowledge base on different design patterns and that kind of stuff, and how things balance and how things engage with each other. But at the same time, I'm also running my own game studio. So I'm making a game from scratch in Amber's Tale. For this to work, I need an appreciation of color theory, which means I have to have an understanding of art. I have to program and know different design patterns. So I need to know how to make state machines for my player. I need to know how to optimize the game so it can run on not only different computers, but different consoles even, because there'll be different things to take into consideration then. So I need an understanding of programming. If I'm making the game fun, which, games should be, fundamentally, I'm going to need an understanding of design. And if I'm wanting to make certain things profitable and that kind of stuff, you need design in a way to kind of almost, it's almost the psychology of design. Like, why is this fun and how can I implement it in different ways? You need to understand what makes things enjoyable to do. and how things feel, like the emotional level of things. And then sound. I mean, personally, like, I have a pretty sound understanding of sound, or I've got a pretty good understanding of sound, because I played the oboe and koronglay, like, semi-professionally for, like, 10 years of my life. So, like, I've written music. I understand. I can read music on the sheets. I understand how music flows, different tempos, rhythms, syncopation, all that kind of stuff. Like, I know the jargon. I understand music. So it comes in useful when I'm personally working with the Millen brothers, that I can say, like, oh, I like this for this reason, and can we add this kind of aspect, or it's missing a bit of bass, are we able to add maybe a bassoon into this woodwind ensemble, are we able to like, I need this instrument, I think this would work well in this context. So I've got that background in orchestral music and stuff. So for my personal kind of aspirations, I've worked in each of these, and I've taken an interest in each of them independently. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, bloom and other terms like that, I would say, okay. There's terms like that in Clip Studio, like vector and that. That would never know what that means or does. I mean, that's stuff that, like, it's the same in kind of any kind of context. When you're learning a skill, you'll pick up different vocabulary, and a lot of it, you'd be surprised, like vectors and stuff like that carry over from doing like a maths degree, or not even a degree, like even some of those fundamentals like GCSE math, you'd kind of learn what vectors are, and vectors are simply just like a coordinate. So you've got an X, Y, and a Z coordinate. That should be a bracket. That's all a vector is. If you've got a vector 3, for example, a vector 3, all that is basically saying there are 3 points within the coordinate, so the X, Y, Z. A vector 2 is just the X and Y value. And a vector 1 is essentially a float. A float is essentially any number at all. So a float, that is not how I spell float, Jesus. F-L-O-A-T. A float is any number, and it can be a decimal number as well. So a float could be 1, or it could be 1.01, or it could be 1.0001, whatever. Whereas an integer, or an int, is a round number. So it's only 1. It can't be a decimal. It's impossible for an integer to be a decimal. So it could be 1 or 2 or 123, but it can't be a decimal. And these are all things that, as you learn, you would naturally just pick up that knowledge base. Again, depending on the tutorials you watch, they might be explained as you go, especially if you go with something that is explicitly on YouTube, for example, a beginner programming like video or something like that. A lot of people would explain, oh, I'm right, we're going to make a float, and they might give the context of a float is this, that, and the other. But the good thing about this is, let's say you don't know what a float is, or when we're programming, let's bring up some of the stuff I'm programming. So let's bring up the player script here. The good thing about game development is pretty much everything is documented. Everything. Or anything that you would need, especially as a beginner. Like, maybe not everything when you get to the broader professional, like, the big boy stuff. But, like, anything here, ultimately, you could Google what it is. Or at least get the context behind it. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is probably a bad script to show you. Because this script is it's set up as a state machine, so this is a bit more intermediate. I wouldn't say this is beginner friendly. But let's say, for example, you just didn't know what the word public here meant, right? You don't know what public means. You just go onto Google, and I'll pull it up now for you. Unity public variables and the inspector, and it will literally give you, in the Unity manual, a literal definition as to what it is. And you can just read through this, and it will explain it for you. It tells you what difference it makes in the inspector, so within Unity. All sorts. And the TLDR is with public variables. It basically means if something is public, you can access it from other scripts and you can see it in the inspector. So let's just, for a basic thing, if I make a public int that we learned earlier, which is just any round number. So basically I'm making an int that is visible in the inspector or to other scripts. And we're going to call it random number. And we're going to set it equal to 1 by default. We'll save that. I shouldn't have been running in play mode. Oops, daisies. We're going to come along and we should, once this updates, waiting. Well, any second now. Any second now. Well, funnily enough, there we go. As soon as it updates, we've got this new visible in the inspector, this being the inspector. It's visible in the inspector, random number, and it's set to 1. Now, if we come along and we make this private, now a private is exactly the same, except it can only be accessible within that script. So I can't call that integer from a different one, and it's not visible in the inspector. And you can learn all this pretty intuitively just by kind of making a game, and anything that you don't understand, Googling it, even the little things. And let's say you don't necessarily understand things. Let's say you're still a bit stuck. You're still not 100% sure on what it is. AI exists. Explain in layman terms what a private and public variable is in Unity. And you can just ask the question. And it'll tell you. And because I've said in layman terms, it'll say it in a very, like, non-jargon kind of way. It's going to be very common talk. Very, not using big words or anything like that. You don't need context to learn, so you can read this. In Unity, a private variable and a public variable refer to two types of variables that you can use in scripts to store and manipulate data within the Unity game. A private variable is a piece of data that is declared in a script and is only accessible and modifiable within that script. Gives you an example of how you can use it, an example as to what that looks like in the actual scripting editor. And then public, what is a public variable is also declared in the script, but is accessible and can be modified from outside the script. So other scripts or in the Unity editor. Perfect. Great. We now have that knowledge base. Yeah. Just use AI. If you don't understand something, AI is a great source for that. Let's say you want to go even deeper. Right? Let's say you want to go even deeper. Let's get ChatGPT. And for context, right, I'm going to provide a little bit of context here. AI is still kind of in its beginning phases. If you do this in the free ChatGPT 3.5, it's free, so you can use it whatever. It's not going to be as good. It will still be very effective. I mean, this is very effective at beginner stuff, right? But ChatGPT 4, from my experience, is a hell of a lot better at doing this kind of stuff, especially when it comes to more complicated things and helping you write scripts, right? But let's make a new chat. And you want to provide context. One of the key things for using and manipulating AI, especially as a game developer, is like knowing how to manipulate it, right? So you need to provide as much context as possible in your prompt. So I am a beginner programmer. So right from the beginning, you're saying I'm a beginner. I don't know any jargon. So when answering my questions, Please provide context behind them. Don't. I will be using C# and the Unity game engine. Okay, now we'll ask a question. So let's say you want to know how to make a character move across the screen. How can I make a character move left and right on my screen? You could even say, and provide context yourself, saying something like Sonic, like the Sonic game, or like the Super Mario game. Okay? That ain't Google. Yes, it is. It's just not Google. It's just not Google Chrome. I'm using Firefox, but I'm still using Google. It's still using Google. Yeah, I got you there, didn't I? Yeah. That's so useful. Yeah. That makes sense. This is so helpful. You should make a tutorial channel. If I was going to do tutorials, I'd probably just do it like on this channel, not going to lie. I mean, one of my things is at some point or other, I do want to make a course. I think that would just be a really fun thing to do. But I feel like I need a bit of credibility first. So I need to, if I do ever make a course or tutorials or something like that, it's going to be after I've released at least a game. Because I need some credibility for my name before I can start going around teaching other people. But let's have a look to see how this is working, right? Certainly, in Unity C#, you can make a character move left and right by manipulating its position. Here's a simple script using the Unity system. Create a new project, so 2D or 3D or whatever. Create your character. You can use any sprite or 3D model for your character. Drag it into the scene from the assets menu. So let's have a look at like our thing. Now, my thing is, this looks very complicated, right? Because I've got a lot of stuff already set up in this. You don't need to worry about this. But you could literally just come along. I'll close all this down so you can see. Right-click. And then this is the asset menu, essentially. Or, just up here, create. And in this case, I want to create a 2D sprite. And let's make it like a square, for example. I mean, I've put this into the project, but I can do the same here. Right-click, 2D object, sprite, square. There it is. Beautiful. We've got a square. Now let's follow the rest of the tutorial. So we'll come along. Attach a script. Right-click your asset menu and choose Create C# script and name it something like Player Controller. Attach the script to the character game object. So then what we would do is we would come along, we would right-click in our project thing, or just here, add component, new script, and we would call it whatever you would call it. It's then also provided you with a script, kind of saying what everything is. Let me explain the key components of the code. The float move speed. This variable controls how fast your character moves. You can adjust this in the editor. And from what we learned earlier, it's a public float, so that means we're going to be able to see it here, wherever we attach our script. And we can change that on the fly to adjust. Well, now we know it will adjust the move speed of the character. The input axis get horizontal. It basically just detects whether you're pressing A or D. Vector 3 movement. This vector represents the movement in the X, Y, and Z directions. We only care about the X axis for left and right movement. Cool. Well, let's say you want a bit more of an explanation on this. Copy it. Elaborate on this, please. We've got to say please and thank you to AI, you know. They're doing us a massive favor. There you go. There's a bit more context behind it. Up at the Z-axis is left and right. The Y-axis is up and down. The Z-axis represents movement into and out of the screen, so forward and backwards in 3D space. Boom. And again, because we left this prompt at the beginning saying I'm a beginner, and to use layman terms, it's doing exactly that for all our prompts. Epic stuff. You can teach yourself game development just using AI to an extent. I just remembered that there are lower requirements for YouTube memberships and super chats and stuff. Oh shit. Yeah, you need like 3,000 watch hours now instead of 4,000. So yeah, I'm still not at 3,000. Sad times. Sadness. I didn't mean to get you off course and distract you from your development, but this is so fascinating. Not a problem. No. I'm here. I'm happy to help at any point. If you've got any more questions, please do fire it my way. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Plus, I can turn this bit right now. I'm teaching it into like little shorts on YouTube, and I can farm it for content and subscribers and viewers. So you're doing me a favor, really. So thank you. But ironically, like this, if you're finding this not like useful, this could be useful for other people. So I will make this into shorts and stuff. Where the frick is Dave? Dave is not here. I mean, we could call the ghoul Dave. Dave could be here. This could be Dave. Oh yeah. While we've got a few more people in chat as well, I have a question. Right? Got a question. I'm gonna do a poll afterwards. I'm gonna be making a short about this later on to get kind of opinions generally. But right, it's a big but, and we like big buts. I cannot lie. But what is A, more clear visually, and B, what looks better? So you can see we've got an outline around the player now. The outline goes around pretty much anything we do, like such, right? And the characters. So it adds that emphasis on like red is bad, you know, all that kind of stuff. Is this easier for you to kind of see where the player's at? I mean, the answer is obviously yes for that, but like, is it better than the alternative, which is essentially, let's click on you, not you, not you, you, and you. And we set the material to lit. Sprite lit default. Is that better of a solution than this? Because, quoting Dynam here, I agree. It ruins the vibes. You feel less connected to the world around you. However, there has been a lot of feedback, and I mean a lot. One of the main pieces of feedback I get about this game is that it can be hard to see where Amber is. And I understand that, because I get that. I don't personally have an issue, but I can see where it could be. Obviously, we've got a lot of similar looking colors here. Could be a little bit tricky to follow. I think it's it's emphasized by the fact we're in a forest, and a forest is very green and yellow, and the character's yellow. Now, not all the zones are going to be foresty, green, and yellow, and all that kind of stuff. But in this one, which is the beginning zone, I can see why people have a concern that it's hard to see the character. But having it like this is definitely a lot more clear. I feel like the high contrast piece of clothing or accessories would be a lot better. True, but it's kind of her whole identity. And if I change the contrast of something different, we're gonna run into the same problem in a different zone. Like, let's say I make this blue. Well, I plan on having underwater areas. Spoiler, maybe. Ooh. We're going to run the same issue there, where the blue is going to be too low contrast. And it makes people look it makes them look quite pretty flat. Yeah, that is another issue. That is another thing. Another alternative that we've had is to essentially add a light to behind the actual player. Kind of like this. This solves the problem in a different way. However, this makes the environment look a bit flat. You can see the player a lot easier. I mean, this is pretty intense. Let me just provide a bit of context. I wouldn't make it this bold. Like, I'd probably have it more of a something or other like this, and some kind of contrasty color. I don't know, bit of blue or something or other. And this is also too big, so let's make this like 5. There we go. Like this, you do see the player a bit better. However, well, maybe not here so much. This would also kind of require me to do a lot of additional editing to the way the whole environment is structured. Well, that's a problem. We found a bug, guys. We found a bug. But yeah. I'm currently coding too, and watching your stream, it's really relaxing me in my breaks. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I don't know how long ago you sent that message. I've been looking at the YouTube one because that's where it's like I've got two different chats up on screen. So this is the way my OBS looks at the moment. I've literally got two different chats open, and I'm like, the YouTube one is the one that was like really active. So I've just been looking at that, and I kind of accidentally might have neglected the Twitch one. So I'm really sorry, the mysterious maniac. If you feel neglected, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm glad this is relaxing you. I'm glad. We need music. Where's the music gone as well? Have we finished the playlist? Is the playlist over? Let's get some repeating going on. Let's skip through. There we go. Much better. Much better. No problem. I would say you keep it without an outline and you just make it a feature, the visibility. That is kind of what my that is kind of the opinion I'm going for. I said that earlier on. I do think having that kind of an accessibility having that there as an accessibility feature is great. It's not something I guess it depends what your priorities are. It takes away from the character a little bit, but it solves the problem of not being able to see it. And I can very easily just change the color of that. So let's say you've got like color blindness to some degree. I can make it so you can outline the player. Let me find the material again. Material, player outline, player outline. I can make it such that you can just change the color as well. Why isn't that working? Outline color, red. There you go. So depending on like your own personal requirements, you can have a pink outline if you really want. And that'll be around anything that the player does, which is good. Can it be made more subtle, like a slight glow around the character? I mean, right? Yes, but no. The way I have things set up is I can't just put a single light around the player because the light needs something to illuminate. And all these different background components are much further back in the game. This isn't all flat. This actually has depth to it, right? So if I illuminate the background or I add a light that can illuminate the background, it's really quite jarring. It makes the player look a lot further forward and away from it makes it look like it's not actually part of the background. And again, a light needs something to illuminate. I can't just have a light here unless I make it like a sprite, for example. So pixel, I'm pretty sure I have one on the enemy damage component. Let me have a quick look. Damage glow, is it called? Damage glow. Yeah, something like this, for example. This is a sprite that I could put behind the player. I could lower the opacity. I guess this is like surprise option D in a way. So we'll set the player in such a way. In fact, let's scroll all the way to the top. Let's add this to the player. On the lights one, sure. And this will be shown on, I know, background. No, it should go on midground, but much further behind things. So let's set this to like -100. This should be behind anything on the midground. Set that like that. Let's turn this backlight off. We can come and like increase the opacity of this a little bit, like so. And what else can we do to make this a little bit nicer? I mean, the light is there as well. Sure. But no, I don't want the light. We turn off the animator as well. We get rid of the destroy me component. Just on this anyway. And yeah, this is essentially the next option. So we're essentially just adding a flat background sprite to her to set her apart from everything. Oh, whenever she's facing the other way, it's making the adjustment. How can I fix that? The damage glow, because whenever she's flipping, it's adjusting the thing. How did we fix that? How did I fix that? Really simple. Mask integration, no mask integration. Center, pivot. I can't remember how I fixed the issue. Pivot? Does that do it? Does that fix the issue? No, it still gets rid of it. But as you'll see, what I'll do is I can figure that out later. But when we're moving this way, we've got this kind of like glow around the player. It's not really a glow, but it's kind of a glow. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I've also got the shader on it. So let's get rid of the shader as well. We'll just do lit. There we go. So we've got rid of the outline. And then we've got this glow. So is this... I think out of all the options, I personally think this one's probably the better one. Because it provides that context. It's got that background. We'd have to change it a little bit. So that... Well, A, it's always visible. But I feel like that's probably our best option out of the lot, just from like visual clarity of where the player is. I don't know. Lots of options. Hello! You got affiliate. Not yet. We got the 50 followers. We still have to actually like do 2 streams as well, because you've got to do 7 streams in total in 30 days. And today counts as number 6, potentially number 7. Because the stream broke at the beginning. Surprise, surprise. Who'd have thunked it? So I'm hoping, ironically enough, the stream breaking is going to be a blessing in disguise, because it might now count as 2 streams, which will take us up to the requirement. So we could have affiliate tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. Maybe. Worst case, though, I am going to be streaming tomorrow. So worst case scenario, the stream on Saturday, which is going to be a 6-hour stream, we will be affiliate for. Happy days. Happy days. So yeah, we got it. I just realized I had the YouTube chat closed as well, so I'm not very good at like reading both. I really need to find a way to like merge YouTube and thingy chat together on OBS so I can read both of them at the same time. But yeah, it does. The outline really makes the character look fat. Yeah. What about more organic, like a wisp that follows the player? It provides light and shows where the player is. Yeah, I mean that's something that'll be more like of an ability. Use the power of code, bro. Literally, like I've got so many scripts in this game. Like Amber's, this is just the player. For context, these are just scripts for the player, and I'm not even nearly started. Like when it comes to the main project I'm making. I have a lot of shit going on. God damn, yeah. Like, this is the main player. But the main reason it's got so many is because I've basically got different scripts as data packages. Just as because of the way I'm actually using save data and the way I'm saving things, I didn't want them as scriptable objects. Because I'm going to be using these as... I'm going to be using, essentially, later on down the line, I'm going to be using achievements as a way to save things to prevent people, well, pirating my game, in essence. Because if you don't have it associated with Steam and you're like just playing it separately and you don't have the achievements hooked up, well, you're not going to be able to use a save data. You're not going to remember what you've got. So you'll just have to start the game over every time. So that's the way I'm going to kind of like low-key get around some forms of piracy. Obviously, there's no foolproof way to get around it. But I want to set that out from the beginning as one of the main reasons. And also I just like having the inspector like open so I can have all these different bits, and I know like, oh, if I need to edit something for the heal, all the variables and shit like here is just here for the heal. So yeah. What party did the drunk vote for? The Republican. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That just looks a bit unnatural, which having the glow around them, I mean, that's essentially what Hollow Knight does. You know? Hollow Knight does that. Hollow Knight. To a different, to like a lesser extent, but like, we'll see here. I'll just mute this so I don't get copyright claimed again. But you can see here, it's less pixelated, but you can see around the player, it's like a glow effect. You can see there. And I think, just now looking at it, I think it probably is done in the form of sprite rather than a light. But it has it's a lot more faded, don't get me wrong. But that is how Hollow Knight does it. Is there a way for me to just fix this? Because I really don't like the fact that it like flips in the Z-axis. Bloom. Nah, because I've got Bloom set up for a bunch of other things like the different attacks and that kind of stuff. And Bloom is very overwhelming as well. I don't think they're using Bloom. I think that I do think they're either using some kind of like, I think they're using some kind of sprite with a light attached to it in some degree. But I think you probably get a similar effect with just light. I mean, here we've got it pixelated, so it does also look quite jarring because of the type of material we've got. But if we just set this as a unlit sprite unlit default, propaganda. Why is that still tiling? Sprite unlit default tiling? We don't want tiling on this. Let me change it here. So we'll just do blur shader sprite unlit default. Why is it showing as unlit? Oh, it's I'm using a particle. Particle I want. Particle. Oh no, I've only got the sprite one. Ooh, I don't know. What else could I use for this? I just want a circle, but with a faded edge. I mean, I could make it in Photoshop, but I need to install Photoshop again. We could use the circle, but like, I thought Unity came with the default particle setup. I mean, that's that. Ooh, thank you for the follow. Level Up Design. Thank you. A brush, yeah. Thing is, I don't have Photoshop installed, so I can't do it right now. I could do a quick one in Canva. No, but yeah, I can't do all these. Let me open up Canva real quick. Alexander EP. The name is Knob. The name is Knob of the sprite you are searching. By the way, hello. Knob, really? I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw Knob, but I'm pretty sure I saw Knob. That is this one, which is essentially a it's for I'm doing a big brain fart. The knob is the knob on the controller for like a control icon. I could just type circle, but I wanted to like fade at the end rather than just having it kind of be a flat sprite. Let me make it real quick. I'll make it in Canva. Canva. Oh no, I can't do it in Canva because I don't have transparent textures. Oh, blimey. I'll have to do that at a later day. Imagine that this wasn't pixelated. Just imagine it wasn't pixelated, right? I mean, I could just make it a circle just to provide a bit of additional context. So we'll just make it a circle. There you go, circle, like that. Imagine this, but it fades out, right? It fades out. So it'd be kind of like this as you're running around. Hello, coming from Pirate Discord. How's the game design coming along? Oh, from Software Pirate. Amazing. There we go. Kind of like this, but imagine it's more faded, right? You'll be able to see the player a little bit. We're trying to decide currently a bit of context for everyone who's just rocked up, because we've all of a sudden like doubled the number of viewers we've got between the two platforms. Bit of context is what's going on. We're trying to settle a little bit of a debate as to what makes the player more clear, essentially, right? Man, Prime sub. Wait, someone Prime subbed? No, that was just a follow, I'm pretty sure. Because I haven't unlocked the monetization yet. Hopefully, I'll have that either tomorrow or Saturday, because we've pretty much hit all the affiliate chat boxes, so good stuff. So at the very latest, the stream on Saturday will be subbable. Will be subbable. Just currently not now, just the follows. But I love you all the same. I love you. Thank you for following. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. So we've got a few different options. One of the main pieces of criticism, well, not criticism, but main pieces of feedback I get is as you're running around the world, you're enjoying yourself, you're loving life, you're just having the time of your life, you know, you're vibing. It can be a bit tricky to see the player, which I completely understand, because we have a yellow cape on a green and kind of yellowish background. It's very understandable. I get it. Skill tree, by the way. This is what makes my Metroidvania unique. Yeah, we've got skill tree. You get to choose the order in which you unlock abilities rather than just being given a generic ability and a set point. Wait, yeah. Non-linear. Did I hear non-linear Metroidvania? But that's the main piece of feedback that I've got. So we've got a couple of options of solutions. The first one is this, which you see on screen currently. It wouldn't look like this, but it would work similar to how Hollow Knight does it, by having a sprite that is like, it would be this bright in the center, but it would dissipate, it would fade. It's kind of like this part, kind of the same effect of this. If I make this a bit more thing, kind of like this, but as you can see, this is a pixelated sprite. I just don't have the non-pixelated version. So kind of like this. You'd be running around the world, and this would provide a bit of contrast between you and everything in the background to a certain extent. Option number 2, which is definitely more going down the lines of like accessibility features over like this being like a way to do it, is to have this. I can't remember what I called it. What did I call it? Outline? Player outline. There we go. And we can set this to be white. This is option numero dos, which basically adds an outline to the entire player. And this counts for anything in the world that she does. Everything. Now, this makes it really easy to see the character. However, the problem with this method is it kind of takes you out of the world a little bit. You don't feel as connected to the world because it's literally highlighting you. So it's catch-22. Like, both work. They provide a solution to the problem, but they also all come with drawbacks. They all come with drawbacks. I think they said they used a dark sprite and made it more transparent towards the player, giving the illumination of it. Yeah, exactly. It's the way Hollow Knight does it. I'm pretty sure it's just a sprite that just gives the illusion of, kind of like the first method, it gives the illusion of a light being emanated, but it's just a sprite. They could always add a little bit of post-processing to it to make it more light-like in a way. Hello there, LazyTeaStudios. Sorry, I've completely like looked over your messages. I do apologize profusely. As I've said, I get sidetracked really easily anyway. Like, we all know this. I'm not the best at just keeping on top of things. I get sidetracked. I talk for days, and then nothing gets done. We know this is my toxic trait. I get distracted, and I don't ignore, I just forget about people, and I'm sorry, but I'm reading your messages now, albeit late. I do apologize. Choose the sprite on the search bar and the right button. Yeah. Where is the material of particle system? That's the one I was looking for, but I think I deleted it accidentally, which is why it's not there, because I was looking for that earlier. Maybe him and Toast. No, I'm pretty sure I deleted it, or I at least replaced it, because at the beginning I was like, oh yeah, this is a pixel game, I'm never gonna use the non-pixelated stuff, and then very quickly changed my mind over time, and realized that I wasn't gonna be like confined to a rigid pixel grid for this game, because I think it just looks a little bit nicer in the context of what I'm making anyway. Outline of the player is equals yeah, like that's the thing. You can always change it, but what I think the general consensus is this is a good option as an accessibility feature for those who maybe do have color blindness or are like more visually impaired. Like having this as a feature that they can have, and being able to change the color of this as well. So you could have it be red, or you could have it be black, white, whatever the hell you want, whatever is easier for you to see. It could be there as an accessibility feature, but as the main solution to the problem, I don't think it works. I think the best option that we've got so far is the original, which is just lit default, keeping it like this and having the backlight. I think this is the best solution so far, especially if we go for the particle one. This. I think this is the best solution out of the ones we've looked at. Lurk again. Hello, Milks. You really have been dedicated to the cause. Have you been here for the whole stream? Madness. What about both? No. I mean, the thing is, I don't. In an ideal world, for me personally, my personal preference is I don't want any of it, because from my personal perspective, I can see the player fine. Granted, I am biased because I'm making the game, kind of thing. But I do understand the importance that the fact that we've had so much feedback about it, and I get the fact that like the player is very similar colors to the background and stuff. We need some kind of feature in place here to help people kind of distinguish. I think this is the method we will probably go for. But instead of having the sprite in the background be pixelated, to have it just be smooth, so you don't really notice it, and then we can just mess with opacities and things like that to make it work however we want it. But now we've got the shader, which does the outline. I think that is a great accessibility feature. And having done work with people who are colorblind before, I understand the importance of having those kind of things in place. So I think that'll be a feature that will be in the game, but it'll be an optional one, because I do feel like it detracts from the gameplay and the sense of being part of the world, because you've got a big highlight around you. But for those who may be struggling, I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great feature. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, I think this is kind of what I'm going to go for. What I'm going to do at some point, I'm just going to install Photoshop again, and I'll just make a bunch of different like brushes, and I'll make a few. So for the next devlog, well, maybe not tonight, maybe tonight, I don't know. I'm going off to play pool with some friends later tonight, so I don't know if I'll have time after the stream. Well, after the stream, if the stream finishes at around 5 o'clock, so in like 20 minutes, Jesus. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. I'll be finishing around 5, so I can cook, because I've got to cook for the missus before she gets home from work. She gets home from work around 5:30, and then we're meeting up with some friends to play some pool and have a few drinks. Because socializing is important when you're no longer at school and you need friends. You need to set time aside. Kind of sucks. Especially when you like, I typically work right now in the I work for a superstore. I just stack shelves because it's easy. It gets me up right early in the morning. Like I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I go to work and I stack shelves for like 6-7 hours. Pays the bills. I don't really have to think, which is nice. It's pretty mind-numbing work, but it means when I get home afterwards, I've got my mental, so I'm able to actually like put my all into my work, because you know I haven't used any of my mental at work, which is nice. Where was I going with that? But that being the case, there isn't a massive amount of time to like talk to people and socialize. So like the older I've got, the harder it's become to actually like communicate and actually find time to spend with friends and stuff like that, you know? So we set up those important moments. I'm really looking forward to it tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Play a bit of pool, have a drink or two. Maybe alcoholic, I don't know. It depends what's on offer and how much they cost. And yeah, just have a laugh. It's been a while since I've been able to actually just chill and do something. I'm very work focused. I really struggle with not working personally. It's a big problem. Both my partner and I like suffer from it. Like we're kind of like chronic workaholics. Like if I'm not streaming, I'm doing game dev. If I'm not doing game dev, I'm at work earning money. If I'm not doing that, I'm usually like, I spend about an hour a day having downtime. Like dedicated downtime with the missus where we'll watch a movie or we'll play a game or something like that. I really struggle with doing nothing. Something I really need to work on in 2024. Like appreciating my downtime and embracing the fact that like relaxing is an important part of being productive. You're only as good as like how rested you are, you know? You need to be rested to perform at your best. But I really struggle with resting. I don't like it. I feel like I'm not working because I want to turn this into my career. And if I'm not actively working towards it, I feel like I'm doing wrong, you know? And I'm not working at my best. I'm not doing what I need to be doing. So, yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. But yeah, we got this. I think this works. I think this does the job. And having this actually means I can probably just get rid of the other fog wall that I created earlier. Open the background. We'll bring the fog from the cave back in and then we'll get rid of these two. And then we can bring this fog, make it 30, I think it was. And that should do the job. Wouldn't that be nice? See how this looks. Ooh, I think I can go a bit lower, actually. Let's set that to 20. 25. There we go. Now, the tricky part. This works, right? This does the job in this context. But this isn't the only lighting that we have in this game. We have a day-night cycle. So we need to make sure that this works in all the time zones, in all the lighting scenarios. So let's give that a go. We go to the day-night. We're going to make it nighttime. And let's see if it still works and still looks good at night. Okay. I mean, I think it would need to be a bit less transparent, but I think this looks okay. Well, let's go into the other room, because the other room's actually kind of more polished. Right, well, let's pause it. We'll actually just go into the other room. We'll start out. So scene 1. Save. Shit, no, I need to make the player prefab. I need to make the player a prefab in this first though. Or make the adjustments overrides, apply all, just so it applies to the other scenes as well. Scene 1, there we go, save. Alrighty. Let me make sure that the player actually has the sprite around them. They do! I think it's too bright. I think it's still too much. Let me just lower that down a little bit. Player, not in the core, it's in lights. Damage glow. Let's make this like 35. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, I need to get some music. The music stopped as well. Why does it keep freezing? Is the stream fine? Is the stream still up? Or has my internet just crashed? Weird. I think YouTube was just doing a thing. Oh, well. There we go. All right. I think that kind of still... You can still kind of see it. Kind of. All right. Well, it works in this context. Let's just double check nighttime. So we'll go in and we'll check the day-night cycle. Let's go to night. And let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think it works fine in night. I think it works better at night, actually. I really quite like this. I like this. And then daytime. Daytime is the one that I think it's not going to make much of an impact on. Because day is the brightest time. And it uses a lot of whites. So yeah, I mean, you can still see it. You can still see it. It's a very faint adjustment. But you can see the difference. I really like how it looks at daytime. I really like the colors of this. And just the fact that you can have... One of the things I'm so glad I implemented the day-night cycle. Because you can make the same place look so different, you know? Like, what kind of visuals are we liking most? Because what I can do is I can make the state duration like 2 seconds. And the transition be 1 second. And let's see if it changes. No, I think it's already determined. So if I set this to 2 and that's to 1, or 2 even, 3-2. This will transition. This will be how it like transitions between the different cycles, between the different day and night cycles. So it'll start with day, and it should, after 3 seconds, transition to night. There we go. Granted, this would happen over a lot longer a period of time, and then it'll transition to dawn, which are these kind of autumnal hues, and then it'll transition to daytime again. So, let's get some opinions. If anyone is, in fact, watching. What time of day is your favorite looking? Do we like dawn, which is the autumnal oranges, the greens of daytime, or the dark blues of the night? What are we thinking? What provides the best vibes is my question. All of them. Amazing. I mean, I think personally, dawn has to be my favorite because it's also just nostalgic to like the how the game started, like the original demo that's on the Patreon was pretty much only the autumnal kind of visuals. All of them, day-night cycle, exactly. I mean, all of them are going to be in the game. Because we're going to have that kind of active day-night cycle. But this really, like, the autumn ones, it's just nostalgia. It's just a hit nostalgia. Because, let me see, have I still got the demo installed somewhere? I'm sure I do. I think this is it. Game demo. If I extract this. Yes. I wonder how long this is going to take. It shouldn't be that big. Beep, 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 beep. Come on, there's no way you're taking this long to extract. No way. What's going on? Come on. Oh, we do have like 2 different instances of Unity open. That's probably not helping the situation. Discard all. Oh, so it must still be in here. I must still have it saved then. Where? Demo. Where? Name. Demo. I'm trying to search for the demo. Where are you? No SSD. I do have an SSD, is the issue. That is an SSD. Depressing stuff. I don't know what's going on. To be fair, the fact I'm like streaming probably doesn't help matters. It's got to be here somewhere though. Oh, game demo. Oh, that's the boss only. I don't want the boss. Oh, there we go. Game demo. Here we are. My project. Let's stop the music because the demo has music. Yeah, look at this. In my rushed demo, that I very much rushed to get it out for the university submission. Crazy stuff. We'll go in. Doesn't need the options button doesn't even work. It does nothing. But yeah, you can see I've got the. It's very autumnal in this. It's very autumnal. I just instinctively went to roll there. Good job I didn't. The controls definitely feel a lot more floaty in this. A lot more floaty. Ah, the difference that just having that music in makes. It's crazy. We do have the artifacting of the screen though, which is a bit sad. Oh dear. I'll also just lower the volume ever so slightly, because I feel like that's probably going to be a bit loud on YouTube. Yeah. Ooh, hello. Let's get all these fruits. Yeah, it's very floaty. I forgot, like, how different this demo feels. Even just graphically. It feels very different. Now I can heal. Wait. I need to get proper animation for that still. I still don't have that. Oh my god, of course we landed there. Yeah, these controls feel very floaty. Damn. Ooh. I just absolutely love this music, though. The Millen Brothers did such an incredible job on the music. So incredible. Is there a demo yet? I mean, technically, this is a demo. It's a very old demo. As you can see, the game looks very different. But technically, this is a demo. It's available on the Patreon. The game now is... It doesn't offer... Or the game now... Oh, Jesus Christ. That kill me? Oh, that killed me. Amazing. Double damage. You gotta love it. You can't hear anything. At all? If I do this... Can you hear it now? Is that any better? I mean, the music. Is this better? I'll raise it up a bit more. How's that? Can you hear that more, yeah? Happy days. No worries, no worries. Yeah, this demo is available, so you can play this on the Patreon page. So this is available on there. That's the only place this is available at the moment because I took it down. Because it's not really an accurate representation of what the game is anymore. Like you can tell, a lot's different. A lot is different. From the attack animation to how the play's a lot heavier now. Like with regards to movement. Most of this is still here. Or most of this stuff I still have access to. I needed to remake a lot of the systems because I made this originally. Amber's Tale started off as a university project. It was my final year project, which I was being graded on. Is this your game? This is the old demo to my game. This is the old demo. The game has gone under a rather large transformation. It now looks like this. I'll show you. I'll literally just do a little tab between so you can see the difference between the two. Because the game has changed dramatically. This is that demo that I'm just playing at the moment is like 6 months to 6 to 8 months old now, I think, at this point. Yeah, this is what the game looks like now. And if I can tab between this and this, there we go. This one doesn't have any music or anything. It's currently got switch cycling through the day-night cycle and such. You can see the similarities. I can literally run through the same area of the level and everything. So we've got a leap and things like that. Different particle assets. Different bits going on. We've actually got a save system in the new game as well, which is good. And then you compare that to this. So I'll go back to the beginning, to that exact same area. So you can kind of see the difference. I just have to, you know, kill myself now. I'll have to Alt F4 the character. But this is that exact area that I just showed you in the old demo. Very different. Very different looking. Very different kind of aesthetic generally. functionally more or less the same. Like there was a little campsite here, which is a checkpoint in the new game. But yeah. Ooh, hitting the microphone. There also isn't a quit button in the demo, so you have to actually unironically Alt F4 to get out. Because I put a lot of thought into that. But it was a university submission. I didn't have time. I was also bound by the constraints of needing to adhere to a brief, which I'm not anymore. I made the own brief myself. Then when will there be a new demo? There will. I'm hoping. See, there's two parts to this question. The fully fleshed demo, I'm aiming for May. Oh, me we three. I'm gonna go with me we three. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. I'm aiming to have the full demo finished, like on Steam. It'll be the long-term demo, finished by May. Hoping. It might not happen. It might be, but mid this year. Let's put it that way. Mid this year is when I'm aiming to get it done. However, part 2 to the answer, I am wanting to release smaller scale demos for playtesting purposes throughout the next few months. Like right now, we've only got these 3 kind of scenes going on. Once I have the old version, or once I have a lot more set up, probably in like, the thing is, I've got a lot going on for the next month. Game jam wise, I'm doing a bunch of like game jams. I'm doing this Pirate Software game jam with LazyTeaStudios, so that's going to take up 2 weeks, and then straight after that I'm doing the global game jam with a couple friends. So I'm not really going to have much time to work on this until like March time. But in March I will be until February. But in February, by the end of February, I'm hoping to have some kind of playable demo that I'm going to hand out to a select number of people from the Discord community. So if you're interested in playing that and doing a bit of playtesting, it'll be legitimate playtesting. Like I will be giving out forms and things like that for you to take notes and fill in and give me like genuine like QA testing experience. If that's something you're interested in, join the Discord. If you're on YouTube, there's a link down below. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitch, I'll send a link now. I'll send a link now to the Discord. So do please join. It's also full of some absolutely phenomenal people, most of them working on game dev themselves. So it's a great place to kind of learn game dev and meet some epic people. And for the Twitches, there's the link. If you're on YouTube, it's literally in the description of this live stream. But yeah, that's the plan. I can see there's a lot of people, like there's been a lot of messages, so I'm going to try and get through them. So I'm sorry if I'm just missing over yours. Like at the moment, I will get to your messages. Do you have a level designer? Yes, me. I'm the level designer. I'm the primary designer. I'm working with 2 phenomenal artists, PenUSB Mike and Hannah, who are the ones who made the assets and such. I'm the one designed the levels and doing all the pixel art. So here's an example of what the demo level is going to look like. Not very flushed out. There's a lot more to it, trust. But this is a general kind of idea. But yeah. Nice. Can you download the old demo anyway? Yes, on my Patreon. I'm planning to make it like eventually once I get monetized on YouTube and or Twitch. I don't know how the Twitch side of things would work. But I'm going to make it accessible once I get memberships unlocked. But the current demo, so the one that I was just playing earlier, is available on the Patreon, which you can access for £3, £2.50. Like the cheapest tier gets access to it. So you can play that along with a few other scripts and things like that, which are pretty useful to have in your own games. But I'm gonna get that moved over to memberships at some point or other once that gets unlocked. But yeah, are you planning on macOS release? Right, probably not. I'm aiming for console releases, but I'm not aiming for Mac, just because of how much of a faff it actually is to like set up. Like you have to do so much more work to build for Mac OS compared to like Windows and Linux, and like the demographic and the amount of people that could potentially get the game or play the game from that is like so small in comparison. So it's like the ROI on like building it for Mac isn't that high. So I don't know. Currently, right now, in the situation I'm in, the answer is probably like no. But that could change. That could change. Building for Mac and making it accessible and that kind of stuff could become easier in the future. Like this game it's a long-term project. A lot can change in the time that I'm building this. So I'm open-minded, but in the current state of the way things are, like probably not. Okay, from the YouTube side, you can hear, do you have a philosophy when it comes to level design? It stresses me out so much. How do you balance difficulty when you're better than someone who picks it up for the first time? Any advice? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I think the first thing you need to think about really is just playtesting. Playtesting is going to be the biggest helping hand in kind of getting that sorted. You want to give it to a bunch of people of various skill levels and just watch. You don't give them any input. You hand them the controller or you hand them the keyboard and just see what they do, right? If you do that with enough people, you'll start to see certain patterns and things like that, and you can adjust accordingly. Like, for example, here on Amber's Tale, right? Here. Most veteran Metroidvania players, the first thing they do is go this way. Because the trope of Metroidvanias. Right now I don't have anything there, but there will be. Most beginners won't do that. Most beginners, especially like Western people who there's a whole thing, right? Westerners and people in America and that kind of stuff who read left to right. We read this way and then up and down. I think it might be mirrored for you. Imagine you're reading a book, you go left to right. Most people inherently will do the same when you play video games. They will go left to right. So most people at the beginning will go over. There are some nuances, like if you read right to left, might be the other way around, but the vast majority of people go left to right. Okay? You come here, most people will see this. They'll look at like wooden crates, they'll be like, okay, probably destroyable. They'll attack. When I was playtesting, especially with people, my partner doesn't play games at all, so she's great. I literally use her constantly. I'll pass her the controller and be like, play. And I'll see what she does. She'll be coming up here. She'll be jumping around. She won't know what's going on. She'll walk back. She won't know what's going on. So what I did in the demo was I made a little prompt where if you were standing in this area for a bit too long, for like more than a couple seconds, a little pop-up came up that said, press X to attack. It's not jarring because if you know what you're doing, you're going to walk past it and that's not going to trigger. But if you don't know what you're doing and you'd be stood here like, or trying to walk into it for a little bit, you're not going to just walk straight past it. So in that case, if it's detected that you're standing in this area for a little bit too long, it will come up with a little prompt to say, this is what you do next. Right? And like all this stuff, it's ironically enough, a lot of level design is just like, it's psychology. Look, hey, happy days. I haven't got any of those, like, I need to get all the different emotes and things like that set up. So yeah, I need to sort that out. Hopefully at some point. But another thing, for example, right? I'm teaching the player that you can attack these. That's great. So you attack it, it's destroyed, and you move on. You face a little enemy, it's cool. There's a reason this ledge is lower. There's a reason for this. It's not just an aesthetic choice. It helps with that, because layering looks great, happy days. But there's a reason this is one step further, because as you're running here, there's a chance that when you attack down. What's going to happen when you attack down, when you're on top of an enemy? You're going to pogo it. This is a very early opportunity for me, without having to provide you the context that you can pogo in this game, for you to accidentally learn that you can pogo. Okay, so you attack this, you do a little bit of combat, it's easy enough enemy, they just walk back and forth. Happy days. You come along, you've got another set of these boxes. Well, we've just dealt with them there, what are we going to do again? We're going to attack them. We've learned that we can attack. We now know that you can attack boxes and you can move past them. Awesome. Fight another enemy, because again, we just want to slowly introduce easy enemies, learn the combat system. You've attacked 2 stationary objects and you've attacked 1 moving one. Well, let's deal with another one. Just really emphasize the learning experience. For context, this guy isn't going to be there. So you'll come along, you'll go down, and again, we've got a different enemy. We don't know what it is that they do, but from their behavior, just looking at them, they're acting the same way as the fox, right? So we're going to give them a bit more time. It's a slower moving enemy. They're going to be moving backwards and forwards. Because this area is bigger, you're allowing the players a little bit more space. You're allowing them a little more space. So you're letting them, like, you're giving them a bit of breathing room to deal with this new threat. It's not an accident that this is a bigger area. They come down. One of two things will happen. They'll either wait again, if they've learnt to pogo, so they might come and attack them straight away. Another opportunity to learn to pogo. If not, they've got the breathing room. The enemy's over here. They come down. This enemy charges at you. Once it's looking at you, it charges. It's going to give you plenty of time to react. Because again, this is early on in the game. In the previous versions, this area was a lot smaller. This area was literally about this big. About this big. It didn't give people time to react to the enemy that was there. So I set it up so that the area is bigger. More time to react to the enemy charging at you, to fight it, deal with it, just avoid it and jump over completely. Up to you. Now again, we've got another learning experience here. Let's say you go up here. This is like perfect height to jump, more or less. You can jump about this high, right? If you jump a little bit earlier, you're going to automatically mantle this. Great. You've now learned that there's a mantle or a ledge climb, whatever it's called. If you don't, and you walk underneath and you go up this way, this is the exact height. It's a little bit less. It's a little bit less. It's a bit more forgiving. But this is more or less the height you can jump to allow you to ledge grab. So this is an opportunity to teach the player. Most players will go up here, but if some come along here, they learn that they can ledge grab. Great. We've not said anything to the player, except potentially it's X to attack for those really new gaming people. We've not explicitly told the player anything, but just from this one area here, they have learnt that you can potentially go left, not just left and right, and that things can be hidden because there will be a hidden area under here that you can get to. They have learned that attacking these boxes destroys them, allowing you to walk past. They potentially learned that you can pogo enemies. They've also potentially learned that you can roll as well. So this area is a great place to learn that rolling allows you to dodge areas as well. Allows you to dodge areas. Another opportunity to teach to pogo. Some enemies will react to you depending on how close you are to them. You can ledge grab. You can jump this high. This is the standard height of, like, this is the general standard height that you can make a legitimate normal jump. This is the height at which you can ledge grab. All of this, we have not explicitly told the player. None of this. But they'll have learned a lot of it, right? Just through how the level is shaped and how it's formed. Right? A lot of this came from just changing things, making tweaks, and giving it to someone else to see how they react. And then asking them questions. How do you know you can do that? Why did you try to do this thing? What does this enemy do? What would be the best way to react? Just asking lots of questions and trial and error. And I just remember, a lot of it is it's psychology, level design and stuff like that. A lot of it is psychology. If I look at this shape, what will it say to me? What will it do? A great example is in Legend of Zelda, right? In Zelda Breath of the Wild, everything that's like a point of interest is like a triangle shape, right? You load up Breath of the Wild. Anything that is like triangle shaped is going to be a place that you like have something to look at. Whether it is a mountain, whether it is the top of a tower, whether it is a little hill, whether it's the point of a house, anything that's got a triangle is a direction you want to go in, because there'll be something there for you. Little things like that. It's basically, how can I trick the player into doing what I want? I want the player to go this way. Well, how, using the environment, could I encourage the player to do so? Another example of this, a very subtle one. Well, it's not even a subtle one. It's a very obvious one, right? Not scene 2. We want scene 2. Yeah, here. Right? The player's moving along here. They're going up. They're learning a bit more, blah, 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 blah. They get to this place. Now, that is the height at which they can mantle. You can mantle this. So if you've learned that already, you'll go up there. But what if you also learned pretty early on? Bear in mind, this is room 2. If you attack boxes, you could destroy and get past them. The camera stops here. This is all the player sees. The camera stops. But they will see down here that they can walk past these boxes. Epic. Let's go down, attack them. What do you reveal? A cave, a hidden room, a secret. Epic stuff. Epic stuff. And this is just the second room. I have, like, there are so many different plans I've got with this. Like, this is these 2 rooms. That's it. And you've already learned all of that stuff inherently, just through how the level was designed. This area is going to have a focus on platforming. So you're going to learn that there are platforming elements. Different things to dodge. There might be some spikes up here or something like that. Different ways. And this will showcase different ways you can use the environment to, like, navigate, right? That's the main primary focus of this area. This area is going to, like, there'll be a bit of a split. So you can go up this way, and this is how you get down here, right? There's going to be a door up here, and most people go up first, because that's how I'm going to shape the environment to, like, lead them up, make it look like that's the way to go. You're going to be met with a door that needs a key. You're going to have to backtrack and come down here later on. Now, if you come down here, you'll get the key first of all. You see a key, what you're going to think? Oh, there's a door I need to open. This will eventually get to a dead end. You'll work your way back. You'll find the door. Boom. There's a lock and door. There's a door and key system in this game. Epic. We've learned something else. You didn't have to tell anyone. You just showed them that there's a key. And you showed a place for the key to go. And then this area is going to be something. I don't know. There'll be some hidden rooms or something along those lines. I don't know. But level design is fascinating. I could go on all day. I could literally go on all day. It's one of my favorite aspects of game design. But it's essentially just psychology. And the biggest piece of advice I could give you is just get other people to play your stuff. And play games. Oh my god, play games. Especially if level design is something that you're really interested in, the Dark Souls games are phenomenal examples to play. Phenomenal. And really, like, don't just play the game. Go into it thinking, like, where is this leading? Why is this leading me this way? What am I looking at? Why am I drawn towards that thing? Like, if you know where you need to go, why do you know where you need to go? You know? Do I feel like there should be a shortcut here? Well, just so happens, let's look around. What other opportunities could I find that could lead to a shortcut? Does the world wrap around in a way that makes it feel like, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. There must be a shortcut to get back to where I went from. Maybe if I drop this ladder... Oh, shit, there's a ladder there. If I drop that, boom, now I've got a shortcut. If I die, it's a bit less brutal on you, you know? Play games. Analyze the games as you play them. Especially the Dark Souls games, because they are exceptional when it comes to level design. Exceptional. Especially Dark Souls 1. Oh, good stuff. Play them. And then when you make stuff, get as many different people to try your game. And ask them questions. Why did you do that? And as you go, you'll just get better and better. You'll get better and better. Yeah, that's my advice. That's my advice. Will everyone have access to the test demos? I don't know yet. Oh, go get my parcel. Oh, shit. Yeah, true. That, for context, right there, Gianna Babs, is my missus. That is my time to leave. I need to stop streaming because my missus is on her way home. And I need to go get a parcel before reception closes at past. So I need to vacate. But very quickly before I go, because we did get and one more question. And hungry. I want to start game dev. What kind of 2D theme is the best? Start really small. I wouldn't even go with like, don't make a game theme, just make something that moves, for example. Literally just figure out how to make things move, then look at like in different things, engaging with different things. Like, I don't know, like a platformer is a good place to start, but there's a lot of moving parts in a platformer that you have to think about, like collisions, physics, all that kind of stuff. I would literally just start with making something like Pong, which is literally just a case of getting 3 different elements in your scene to move. Start really, really small like that. Or literally figure out how to get like a circle in the middle, make an enemy that always just moves towards the middle from no matter where you are. Literally start really, really basic. And generally just follow tutorials. Just follow tutorials. Brackeys is a great place to start. You can make a pretty standard game from beginning to end, or at least a game loop from beginning to end, and you just reiterate on all that kind of stuff. Just practice, and yeah, eventually you'll just build up enough little skills that you'll be able to put them all together into an actual mini game. Epic stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you all for joining. I will be streaming again tomorrow, same time as usual, so make sure to tune in. I'll be doing some Amber style. I'll get some proper level design done tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be good fun. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you all very soon. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day.